Поэтому выводов мы не сделали.
So basically, they were watching only the game 1 because on the game 2 they were in the shuttle, so they didn't really watch it or make any plans for that.
Okay, so that means that you guys were pretty prepared already, pretty confident. All right, very well, very well. Let's talk a little bit about this draft. I saw you pick the Enigma last instead of Doom. Any reason for that?
По этому драфту вы пикнули Enigmu, а не Дума ластпиком. Есть какие-то мысли по этому?
Мы просто более уверены в Enigме.
They are more confident in Enigma than in Doom.
All right, it should be a hell of a game. I want to know from your words, how hard is this grand final going to be? All right, you guys are known to just destroy teams in the past. You think this might go all the way, or is it going to be pretty quick?
Насколько ты думаешь, будет для вас сложный гранд-финал? Думаете ли вы, что вы их уничтожите?
Я думаю, это просто будет хорошая серия против старых знакомых, так сказать, приятелей. И надеюсь на хорошую игру.
I think it's going to be a good series against the old friends, and it's going to be a good game.
All right, well, I'm sure it will be. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for the translation, and thank you guys for watching. Let's get into the game.
Well, it's not a good game for Mira. He's died twice already. Welcome to the Grand Finals, everybody. BetBoom versus Aurora. Suns fan with Cinderin. And yeah, 2 kills already for the BB Blops side, Cinderin. How's it going with you? Are you feeling awake? We have time to talk about anything we want now that there's a pause.
Am I
Mira's resetting his mental right now.
Feeling away at 10-3, yeah. That's a bit of a change of time for us, though. We've been starting...
It's true. I just had my dinner.
Yeah, that's right. You eat very early nowadays. And you somehow managed to move it forward every day, which is kind of incredible.
That's right.
WS going to be the victim of a very powerful lane here, and there's no way around this.
Tag team too good, man. I mean, is there a better skill than tag team early on? It's actually going to be close. He's not going to go in for the kill. Okay, doesn't actually finish the job, surprisingly enough.
It's almost as good as killing him.
True.
He has no presence in the lane now, and the player who's going to arrive to try to help him out is, as you mentioned, a 2-death hoodwink. So she barely has any experience, but at the very least you've dropped the creep equilibrium here for the Radiant, so they're going to be pushing into the tower. Now the challenge is either getting pulls off or trying to put pressure in said tower so they don't get any free last hits. See what they choose to do. Looks like Katomi is on the way to pull the camp indeed. Great start for BetBoom, clearly. Winning all 3 lanes, I think, is fair to say at this point. Of course, GPK, courtesy of the First Blood, has an advantage against Queen of Pain on the ping.
Yeah, and GPK has been an absolute beast, not just in this tournament, but the last year and a half. He's really turned his life around, Cinderin.
Turned his whole life
Different
around.
lease on life overall. I mean, Nightfall, the same thing, though, for the other team. Like, they have... I mean, obviously, they're quite different. GPK would go in too often. Now he's scaled it back. Nightfall would never go in. Scaled it back to be more of a, you know, join the fight kind of carry.
Maybe they did some sort of couples counseling, and they found the compromise that worked for them both.
Yeah, perhaps.
Could be it.
Okay, Ori, we did see him play a different hero in the last series. He played Bananamancer, which everybody was shocked to see.
He's back on Warlock, though.
Yeah, but back on Warlock now. Is tried and true.
There are a couple of new picks in this game, though. BetBoom are actually running some stuff they haven't played very much.
Yeah, we're seeing the tag team again, though. WS can take a beating. We'll go back to lane, though, as Kiritich fighting off Mira in the meantime. WS still fighting this.
This is Katomi's first Tusk game of the tournament. I believe it might also be their first Enigma game of this. No, never mind. It wasn't their first Enigma game. But it was the first Muerta, maybe. Trying to remember the graphic now that we saw with all of the picks. But there were definitely some outliers for the side of BetBoom in particular here. Katomi on the receiving end trying to contest the the Lotus. Will live, though.
Yeah, what do you think about the Enigma? The panel talked about it quite a bit. I mean, obviously, they have the 2 piercing AoE stuns in Golem and Chrono, the whole game for that. But we've seen Enigma in the past be less reliant on the Black Hole. I assume that's kind of how they're going to have to play here. Is it going to be the Frog Stomp? Dead shot onto 2 heroes, though, from Kiritich trying to turn this around with a tag team. It's going to cost the Tusk his life, but the Frog does fall to the dead woman. As Mira, is this going to be a 3rd death for you?
Dead shot in 1 second. He's going to have to hit this from...
It's going to have to be a YOLO.
He sees him.
Yep. No.
Good sidestep.
The Courier dies instead, and that's a lot of regen on there.
I think in current Dota, the most important thing for Enigma picks is knowing your hero matchup in the carry. I genuinely think this hero is very pickable in most games when you see the carry first, because it kind of makes or breaks the hero whether the Eidolons are effective. And when you know it's Faceless Void, you can run this. If you don't know what the enemy carry is, you kind of can't, because if you run into something like Gyro, Monkey King, whatever it is, that just kills Eidolon's carry tiny.
Oh, nice shackle. With the power shot to follow, Fatal Bonzo coming out as Kaori. He's taking the brunt of this damage, and Save's going to easily get the kill. Actually, Miero getting it with the Eidolons, as Nightfall's going to have to time walk away.
Save is... He's just the best on this hero as a support, right? There's just nobody who rivals him.
He's the best on, like, 3 supports, I think.
He's a good player. That's, who you got him on aside from this?
Techies is the first thing that always comes to mind for me. What else does he play?
So there's people that can claim Rubik along with him.
Nah, I feel like Rubik, yeah, it's spread for sure.
Miero.
Miero is going to get taken out by Nightfall. It's going to cost some heavy damage as Mira takes a tumble again. And Nightfall being completely forced out of lane.
He can actually die here to a power shot plus an Eidolon shot or two. Maybe the power shot is enough.
We'll see. He gets it. Beautiful snipe from Save. What a god on this Windrunner.
He also plays a mean Shadow Demon. I don't know. He could...
Yeah, Shadow Demon.
There's multiple heroes. This guy's up in top 3 on
I feel like I'm missing one.
I might
on
be
the tip of my tongue, yeah, but... Techies was the original, though. That's when he first really came onto the scene, I feel like.
Power rune time. Let's see. Save, look for securing top. Will be successful. That's an Arcane rune here for GPK, who is a full level ahead of Mikoto, who will also be forced back. And this might not look like much, but if they can somehow keep tanking this tower, I'm assuming... Oh, he's not going to. Okay, well, thought they were going to turn this into a little bit of a push, at least, with their siege creep, but let it die.
Yeah, Makoto level 6 now, though. GPK, I assume, will want to use his Rolling Thunder pretty soon with that Arcane Rune already running. And yeah, he's going to TP bot. And see what kind of success he can have with it. Actually going to turn into a very easy kill, it looks like, onto WS. Doing some good dodges, but will die nonetheless.
Oh, he sees the Warlock.
Oh, yeah, he does. Into the... Whoa. Yeah, there we go. Kaori being punished just a bit. GPK will eventually find it. Oh, okay. GPK, Symphony of Sausage, episode 1 here. Gets the shield crash. Kaori making a lot of space, and there's the swash to finish. He hits the hard ones in the fog.
Yeah.
Not the one standing still.
I think he might have tried to click somewhere on the ground and then click the ice shards by mistake or something because of verticality. I don't know. That was just a very uncharacteristic misclick. But it happens. Even at the highest levels of play, you too can be a pro, guys, if you can miss those swashbuckles. It's the only...
Frog Stomp with the lick back into it, as well as the Fatal Bonds. That is going to be the death of Kiritich, and that was a killing spree. Kataomi now being slowed. Nice attempt on the shards, but the execution not there. As the lick will finish him off, so that sounds really bad. Double kill for WS. That cuts the lead in half, but you can see the 1K lead for BetBoom. And in terms of pacing, I mean, so far there's been a lot of action, but do either team just, I mean, anytime I see a Void, I just assume they want to slow the game down a bit to be able to provide as much space as possible for him to farm away.
I definitely think they're going to be confident if they don't get rolled in the early game on the Dire, so if you can just keep farming, that's fine. But that's the problem. That's where this Enigma comes into play. Early Helm of the Dominator, almost level 7, which the Eidolons is going to start becoming a major problem.
I mean, how is the damage in the Chrono, would you say? It feels like a Sonic Wave.
It's pretty good.
Stomp-ish. How does Lick work in there, by the way?
I think it doesn't move them.
How powerful is the tongue of that frog?
It's also...
Shackle. Oh, Time Walk is there.
Hoodwink is also very good with Void. The extra damage from a Bushwhack combination. And ult, of course.
Speaking of Bushwhack, that's going to set up the first Chrono of the game, and there's Makoto with the Sonic Wave. Actually pushes Kataomi out, but might be able to find it anyway, but there's a black hole as TPing in was Miero onto 2 heroes. They're going to be able to clean up WS quite easily. Kaori next on the list. A good counter initiation from Miero and the side of BetBoom.
And they'll get one more save. Hits level 6, and he will go squirrel hunting. Should be his urn, right? Yeah, he's getting earned into... Okay, he's going straight Vessel here on the Wind Ranger against Faceless Void and Largo. Seems decent, but it can, of course, be dispelled by the lick, so it has to be a bit selective with how he chooses to use this. That was a very nice TP from Miero. TP'd in the corner there in the fog, so Aurora had no idea he was connecting. It was a good chrono, too. The spellcasting there was honestly quite excellent. Just some levels missing in the mix.
Imagine
for
Nightfall
Aurora.
doing that a year ago, by the way.
Yeah.
Kaori caught under his own tier 1. That's going to be another easy kill onto him. And now the pressure of the tier 1 mid as Miero with his Sade are going to do some heavy damage.
Miero 5-1, way ahead of everybody else in this game on the Enigma. It is a very good game for it. Bulk said they were confident. You're seeing it. He's delivering. Okay, that snowball is not going to reach. We'll be fine.
And they are going to be able to take some of the creeps away in this triangle area.
That's a decent steal, and you're just continuing the overall playstyle of being aggressive. I think as much as possible, BetBoom would like to play across the river, and the primary goal should be to shut down Faceless Void's farm as much as possible. He went Helm of the Dominator, by the way, on the Void. This hero does have different builds. Dom is still one of them. Most carries that were buying this when it was completely broken stopped doing it. Void is, I feel like it's kind of the last one left that we still see this on in particular, Nightfall.
Well, if Marcy was a carry, she would still be buying.
True.
Her.
She would be the other one. But there's some major upsides to Void in having this creep. It solves the problem of having to buy Morbid Mask to jungle because you don't have enough sustain to kill camps reliably. But buying Morbid Mask also kind of sucks. Now you just have
Naomi
a creep.
spotted. Ice shards himself out, but the damage is too much. They get the shackle into the Rolling Thunder with the Muerta silence. The Sonic Wave, pretty decent placement to stop GPK, but they still get the kill onto the Frog. And now the connection onto the Queen of Pain, Makoto. Getting stun locked. Is there damage on top of it? Absolutely. Save and Pango duo it up. So 2 cores dead for Aurora. Was not expecting that at all.
I did not think they were going to get the quad kill. He was mid-blink animation, then he got clipped by the roll, and then he gets clipped another 2 times. Good pacing and good spacing there by GPK. And this is starting to look very, very healthy for the side of BetBoom. Keep in mind, the Dire lineup, in my eyes, extremely greedy. If you're losing the early game, who are you really going to play around? Void is going to be farming. You have Largo, who needs to go Kaya Ags. Your supports are Warlock. Hoodwink is great for skirmishing, but Hoodwink can realistically only really kill with either a Chrono or Queen of Pain. You don't really have a lot to offer. So I think in this game state, this already looks exceptionally good for BB. Not just the 4K lead, but just the overall way this game should progress if played correctly. You'd imagine they keep expanding their lead.
Yeah, Mira's still level 5, by the way.
Yeah, he's had a rough game.
But so is Kataomi, actually.
It's less important, though, I would say, for the Tusk to get 6. Because he doesn't have the same level of responsibility to make things happen. You don't need the punch here to kill, as we've clearly seen already. They've managed to get 14 kills. They have plenty of setups and stuns and great damage output in their heroes, so it's much more Aurora depending on the sharpshooter to get kills, because they have damage issues aside from Quap, and that's been pretty clear in the skirmishes. They're struggling to finish heroes off.
Yep, as WS opting to go for the casual Kaya into the Ags. We've been seeing some variation to that in this tournament. Nightfall is going to be the recipient of a smoke. I believe a scan came out, though. Kaori shadowing him, so has the Chaotic Offering ready to cancel any potential black hole. He's going to time walk away, though. The power shot now is going to reveal they are in fact in the trees, creeping on Nightfall.
Yeah, and obviously, this extremely telegraphed that Aurora here, because Nightfall is playing very aggressive. So, in case BetBoom weren't already aware that there's a 4 or 5 man squad here, Nightfall is not going to pretend. And that's the end of that. So every passing minute that BetBoom don't gain, I think it's a win for Aurora. And this is where this game is going to be at for a while, that BetBoom will be trying to poke and prod and find picks or at least constrict the map. And if they're unable to do so, Aurora are step by step getting toward the time when their lineup makes more sense. And like the panel talked about, they were running this Void earlier today and lost the early game as well into Falcons, but eventually they got there. That seems to be the mindset of Nightfall. Is he knows when he picks this hero that he's probably going to lose his lane, but is he going to lose it by enough?
Yeah.
WS is really the guy who's struggling the most here on the Largo. Very far down the charts.
Yep, not used to seeing that. Like that hero typically will get his farm one way or another. And Save is the richest of the supports right now, which I guess is no surprise considering he is 3-0-7. Has the Spirit Vessel now finished on the way?
I always think it's cool when you have tournaments like this where there's been a pretty defined support meta, right? For the most part, there's like a consensus of Rubik is strong, Hoodwink is strong, Phoenix is strong. And then you have one guy who's just so good at Windranger that they can pick it early in their drafts and just find massive impact every game. He's 3-0 with it in the tournament. Forcing the Sonic Wave out of Mikoto in mid in defensive measures, and he's just going to leave.
Have they played it on Kiritich?
I don't think so.
So it's not even a flex. Even more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they have. If nothing else, they still have the option, which is still just added benefit. When you're picking it early, the enemy team has to always keep in mind that is a possibility. But I'm not sure if they've even run at a singular time in that position. All right, looks like...
This will be the blink reveal for Miero.
Yep. So
has drums blink now. And yeah, they use a snowball onto an illusion, so that's going to give some very needed information for Aurora. Hard to catch anybody here once they saw that.
You can see in the itemization of Aurora here, they're maybe a little bit lacking, considering Mira is going Atos. Seems like their overall call is we need more catch and more lockdown. Then we have the damage.
Fall, Malefice into the black hole and the Rolling Thunder, even a Centaur Stomp. Every stun in the book needed.
Easy.
Ends up netting the easy kill in Nightfall, his second death of the game. Meanwhile, bottom, the Tusk, alone for the time being, tried to go onto WS, is now getting pursued by the Frog himself.
Yeah. And that little bit of movement from WS is telling BetBoom that there's like 3 or 4 heroes down here, because WS ran in very aggressively into the Tusk, and he wouldn't do that if he were on his own. I mean, you could imagine you could make like some sort of bait plays with that, where you're pretending to be bigger than you really are. It's just, in this game state, it seems very unlikely, and well, they don't seem to care. They're going to go on him anyway.
They
Back
will.
Connecting again.
They get the punch into not much.
Mission failed.
I mean, it would kind of waste some time for Aurora. They were backtracking back and forth 2 separate times to try to save the WS Froggy. So GPK has the Mage Slayer, which obviously against, I would say the main ones are Quap and Largo.
Yep.
And
Very
we'll be opting for the Ags next.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a game where you necessarily need the Diffusal, because you have so much lockdown between Enigma. I mean, all your other heroes offer some sort of control. They all have either a stun or a silence, or yeah, that's basically it. Plenty of that. So if you're buying Diffusal, it would mainly be for the mana burn, less so for the slow. And I 100% agree that Mage Slayer is the better choice here. And have we seen anyone go both? You talked about this the other day. If it's good, I personally don't think it is, but I wonder if it has happened. I can't remember a game we cast with.
I mean, I would have mentioned it if it was in a game we cast. So.
Yeah. Well, you tend to, you know, miss things and forget things. And
only important things.
Yeah. As you know, I'm not very absent-minded, so and definitely judge you for that.
That's right. You've been having a lot of old man moments lately. Shackle onto some creeps. Looked like Aurora were wanting to maybe do something, but kind of just grouping up here, chilling, protecting the Void as he farms away in the jungle.
Yeah, it's a very stale game from the Dire, and it is just heavily inflicted by the early laning stage and the type of lineup they're running. I'm not surprised to see Aurora play this defensively. I think it's very difficult, but they don't really have much of a choice given the heroes they've picked. It's very ulti heavy. Sonic, Golem, Chrono, even when you have all of the spells, you're kind of looking for a very specific type of fight that BetBoom aren't really giving you. So you end up just having these spells ready for minutes on end, which never feels great. But I totally understand why they're just electing to continue to hit creeps.
You agree with that percentage?
I think it's kind of close to that, at least. We've been hating on the graph lately, or the probability of
I wouldn't
Dota.
say hate. I find it to be riveting conversation.
Been disagreeing.
Well, I think once you realize it's basically ChatGPT, so you can't trust it for anything, then you can really enjoy the comedy that is these useless numbers on the screen.
I do think, with the perspective of, once again, we don't know how the win expectancy really works, but let's assume it's based on high-level pubs. I could see it being 60-40, actually. Because all the Dire needs is one good fight after they get Largo Eggs, and then suddenly, you know, their late game potential is ridiculous. The panel talked about it. Void Quap late game is hard to beat. It's almost like I could tell you could pick any 2 cores on the enemy team. I have Void Quap.
Bot Black Hole, Cinder.
What are you going to pick?
Bot
as your
Black
2?
Hole, always.
Oh, that's Golem. Late in the game, Kaori is going to buy a dagger, I think. And his job is just going to wait, which is really interesting because what can end up happening in that matchup is that you have one hero with 25,000 net worth, and it's at the mercy of a hero with 8,000 net worth.
Yeah.
And if you get into that position, that's obviously incredibly good for Aurora, since you're taking away Enigma's biggest presence late in the game with...
Oh yeah, the Kaori special. Chaotic offering onto the tier 1 gives no shits. It's just gonna get killed off immediately though.
Oh, that was great.
Very nice farm for Kiritich. He enjoyed that move quite a bit.
I think Kaori was getting bored.
Yeah, understandably. They're playing quite slow this game. Aghanim Scepter now there for Makoto, so the Shadow Strike AoE and the Scream of Pains afterwards.
Yep.
Very powerful. I mean, how long? I mean, against Eidolons, that's pretty dirty.
True.
If they stay on long enough, I guess. Because if you kill them beforehand, they don't scream, right?
Don't they still scream when they die? Because it's like...
Now you're making me doubt myself. Oh, gosh.
I think you're right, though, actually. You must.
I feel like I'm right.
You must be right.
But then again, I am American.
You're
so,
right. You're right.
Yeah, okay.
When Shadow Strike ends or is reapplied. So you could technically have it on all the Eidolons, and then if you throw it again,
right, okay,
then it will explode, even if they don't die. And I mean, the cooldown's going to be really low, right? If you go Octarine, it's a 3-second cooldown, so you could definitely imagine. Yeah, I mean, if it exploded every time a unit died, that would be so broken. Actually, I just had to stop myself for a second. Holy shit!
That sounds like you're kind of balancing.
I mean, imagine you threw that into a cluster of PL illusions, and then you
that would
wipe them out.
I'm okay with that. Actually.
Cluster.
Okay with that.
Just kill the whole cluster. That would be so broken.
Makoto bottles the damage rune. BetBoom were looking for a fight, couldn't find the connection, and now a smoke from Aurora.
Yep.
This damage rune on Makoto could be pretty dirty.
Feels like their first attempted move in 10 minutes.
Yep, as they attempt to go onto the high ground of their own jungle, Atos finds a connection into the bushwhack, and that should be a kill onto the Tusk.
Oh, he instantly Oh. I thought he was going to stay in the ball for a bit. They might have been able to do something with this blink. I think he just panic double-clicked the snowball. Not to say he would have survived regardless, but he could have made them work for it a bit more. Still, it's a fine for Aurora, but it's not great. You kill 1/5 Tusk with your big smoke. You didn't use any big spells, though.
Black Hole, or rather a BKB. I mean, he also has Black Hole, Miaro.
Yep. If Warlock is out of play, he's going to own.
I thought this would be more of an Aura build. Because now you're buying Blink, you're buying BKB. This feels like you're playing around Black Hole, which is
trying
super
to kill
difficult.
Void.
Yep, he's going to try for it. There's the BKB Black Hole and the death. Nobody's nearby.
Even BKB'd for that, just in case anybody was nearby to help.
And the trade is going to be save, not a fair... Although he had a killing spree. Actually, it was worth more money than Void. Okay. Pretty nice.
Still easily a win for the Radiant overall. since the Void, it will be unable to farm for a full minute and has more of a key role to play still.
Yeah, talk to me about this build for Miero.
Okay, wait, what's he playing with the Tiara here? One sec. Is he just going straight Octarine now? I guess.
I mean, what else? What are the components that?
By Refresher. I think that's
a little early, maybe.
Yeah, I think so too. I guess he's just going Octarine. He also got Hex is not bad against Void. I mean, the options are open, right? Yeah, I think Pipe was an interesting prospect, but ultimately with how this game played out, if Aurora aren't going to try to fight you, the Pipe wouldn't even have been that great. If you can't find them, if they're going to play keep away and you can't truly force them to fight you, then the Pipe is kind of wasted. I would have definitely not been surprised to see him go it, though. I would have been a fan of it, too. It's just, it's a very different approach, and so you're playing more on the expectation that this is going to come down to some later game stuff than just we're going to roll them in 30, 40 minutes. So far, that seems likely. Miero. There's a guitarist above you.
Not the good kind either.
No.
Miero does blink out. His spidey senses tingling.
Finally some damage on this tier 1 tower. This is the first tower of the game for Aurora. 25 minutes.
It's crazy.
They finally get there. And the tower was almost full HP too. I mean, look at the tower damage done.
I mean, the lead is not really growing for
Nope.
Bedbone. Like 6K is not anything out of reach for Aurora. We've seen them come back from a worse start than this for sure. Literally yesterday, I believe.
And now the win expectancy is 50-50. Actually. With every passing minute, things look better for the Dire lineup overall. I'm not saying they're an auto gimme win for late game, but they definitely have the tools to be able to win it if it goes down the stretch. And it seems difficult for BetBoom to truly pressure them as much as they would like. Nightfall almost going to complete BKB now. That's a very big item. It's pretty high protection except against the Black Hole. They have it on Quap 2.
Merit found,
Not
can't get to the low ground. I mean, one hero and player we haven't talked about is Kiritich on the Muerta. Just very silently farming away top net worth as he's going to be in the pit now. So he has Mjolnir, BKB, Dragonlance, and going for the Blink next. That's a little bit later, I feel like. So they're going to use Pierce the Veil to ensure that Roche will get destroyed here.
Yeah. Aurora were not interested in contesting this without their Hoodwink, it seems.
What is the matchup like between Muerta and Void late game? We're just assuming this is going late game.
It's pretty special, I would say, compared to a lot of other late game matchups, because Muerta is one of the only carries that Void can't itemize to solve a spell from. You can't... If Pierce the Veil is running, you just can't kill her, right? And late game, Void usually just wins carry to carry matchups. He just chronos them, uses everything, and just bashes you to death. And Muerta can deal with that. She also is one of the heroes that has such ridiculous damage output that if Void gets stunned, you can kill him even when he's 6-slotted during, let's say, 4 seconds of stun. Muerta, if she has, you know, a Daedalus and pops her ult, it's just going to absolutely obliterate him. So I think in that sense, it's a good matchup. But at the same time, Muerta also, if you get chronoed without Pierce the Veil, you're pretty weak. This hero is not tanky with a 6-slotted build, so it's very high skill. It's very much about finding the right moment of opportunity.
How much time do you have to pop Pierce the Veil when you see, like, is that doable?
When you see the Void come in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's doable.
So this is the downside of Faceless Void losing the shard. It's not part of his Ags, having the reverse time walk, because that's a good way to bait it out, right?
Yep.
In theory.
That's true.
That's not going to be until extreme late game, if ever.
We've seen Voids enjoy the Battle Fury Ags build more recently for that reason, because it gives you both. When Battle Fury Ags was making waves, that was with the old shard, but obviously now that you get both the Time Walk Bash and the Time Walk reversal on the same item, it actually gets quite appealing.
Makoto. Oh, they're actually going to go for the Frog.
That'll get him.
That'll be an easy one. This feels like the first semi-major kill in quite a while, as both teams quite content to farm. Which again, as we say that, it does feel like that is something Aurora would prefer in general. I mean, how much can they get out of this Aegis? Another 3 minutes.
Well, I'm assuming they'll definitely take the mid tier 2 here, and I don't think Aurora are interested in fighting without their Largo. So they'll take that, which will open the outpost. So that's something. But yeah, you're not high grounding with this.
Nope.
Unless you find a good fight. It's just too difficult for now.
All right, well, they get their first tier 2 of the game. Feels like with this amount of time, you're picking one of the next 2 remaining tier 2s, that is.
Yeah, you could maybe think about bottom. Oh, you could also think about Nightfall, maybe.
No, they're thinking about him. Atos gonna find save, though. Able to force staff away. God, that icon is so weird on save. What is that new? The shawl.
Oh, the shawl.
It looks so. It does not fit in here at all, does it? Am I going crazy?
There might be some slightly different art direction. Maybe whoever is designing the items is a different person. I would agree. Some of the new item designs don't really look like it's
like from Diablo or something. It's
Shackle shot. Oh my god!
My Nightfall destroyed. The Sonic Wave comes through from Makoto, but they've already lost their carry. Now the Rolling Thunder from GPK. And Kaori's certainly next, so 2 dead in the blink of an eye.
Maybe now you think about
maybe 3 even. GPK with a nice blink. Doesn't have the defusal to slow, but save there with the focus fire, and the Spirit Vessel is going to be licked off, though. WS will survive.
Damn.
That is a minute with the Aegis.
Very promising how quickly the Void died there. They find a Shackle shot, and look at Muerta's damage output. 1,800 during that Shackle, and 1 Malefice tick. Goes to show just how dangerous the matchup is for both heroes. Oh, they're going to black hole
Makoto. Oh boy, I mean,
why not?
Nightfall was back in 8 seconds. That is very costly. And now that's 60 more seconds you have to wait to have your full lineup back.
Yeah, maybe you can keep pushing here. 50 seconds on Aegis, you know there's no quap. Maybe you're worried about a buyback play.
Oh my goodness! Symphony of sausage for real. They're going to be able to get the Aegis, but no Nightfall ult now. The BKB pop by Nightfall, just going to try to right-click onto Kiritich. Doesn't have his ult either. The focus fire applied to Nightfall around, gets punched into the air as WS trying to heal him up. Nightfall finally gets the time walk off. Chaotic offering on himself, apparently, as GPK trying to finish the job cannot do so. They get the Largo eventually. Will they continue to push? No more Aegis. What happened to this game? It went from 0 to 100.
I didn't even see what he was trying to chrono. I wasn't looking down there. I was looking at the center of the fight.
I think there was one hero. I forget who it was, though. And then the Chaotic offering was on the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah. I think it was a good golem, to be honest.
Looked hilarious, though.
It might have been necessary as a defensive measure. Never feels great, but...
Feels better than using on a tower, I'll say that. I mean, he used it on his own tower there, kind of.
Well, if you use it on a tower, that means you're pushing. That probably feels better than being in your base. Oh, he wanted to solo chrono Kataomi?
Yeah, that was not worth it. Even if he got that kill, who cares?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of that to begin with. All right, 14K now, the advantage.
And the Gale Force, super annoying as well. Should mention that.
I love that shard.
Here. There it is. Boom.
It may potentially have saved. I don't
think so.
Maybe it would have lived anyway on the Void.
Yeah, I
don't know if they could have connected, but
it's fine. He got itchy fingers. I've been there.
Yeah, there's just some heroes when you're behind and you're not really doing anything that have this exceptional ability to just be boring. Warlock Undying comes to mind. You're kind of just there. Your hero's entire purpose for the majority of the game is to team fight and be good in laning. You didn't win your lane, and you're not team fighting. So you're kind of just walking in circles, waiting for things to happen.
Did you see the previous series where Kaori got, like he was, I think they mentioned he kind of played like clockwork early game. He's getting all these kills. Or he's setting up everything for his team.
The contrast is...
I think Lizard said that.
The contrast is quite stark between that and this.
This is the other end of the spectrum. This is sadness incarnate.
Yeah. Shackle.
Not going to hit, but they don't need it.
Mira's effectively buying time and information. I think he's well aware that he's out of position there. He's just trying to figure out what's going on with the enemy team. This is sometimes the best play for supports is to, you could call it overextend, but is it really? if you're getting 3 or 4 heroes to kill you so that your cores have some sort of safety and something to go by. Because if you look at the dire map right now, they don't have a single ward out. It's dark out here, and you're clearly behind. You know you can just get jumped and die to a black hole, especially with Golem on cooldown, which is now finally available again. There's the blink on Kiritich for the Muerta.
Wait, what is that ward? What? What?
Oh, doesn't see much.
What is that?
Okay.
It gets dewarded. Wait, am I missing something?
Could be worse.
That literally gave no vision, right?
But maybe the trees were cut, or how old was
I
it?
see. Nightfall gonna get the Chronosphere onto the Muerta, into the Sonic Wave. Do they have the damage? They do! That is a huge kill, the first big kill for Aurora, seemingly the entire game. Save, stuck on the wrong side of the Tormentor, gonna get triple teamed with a Shadow Strike from Makoto, bringing him to an end.
Kaori is a strategic mastermind.
Apparently, he baited them in with the worst ward I've ever seen.
That ward just baited Muerta in somehow. Yeah, we've seen both sides of the matchup now, of the Void versus Muerta situation. You get the Chrono from Fog, Muerta isn't ready, she can die 100 to 0. You get to hit Void during a stun, he can die 100 to 0. So, very, very volatile. But that time, Aurora finally, for them, gets something going. They've been waiting for that for seemingly 20 minutes. You're going to see the replay here. So, it's completely freshly placed. Was he just anticipating some sort of movement here?
I don't know. So strange. I mean, there's obviously some logic to it.
Yeah, maybe we're just dumb.
Yeah, that's almost certainly a possibility.
Usually the reason. I mean, if he genuinely just wants to cover that one angle of them coming through the trees to contest the Tormentor, then I guess it makes sense, but pretty unusual. And also the fact that it gets instantly dewarded is kind of funny to me. Anyway, seeing the replay here, as soon as Kiritich is dead, the fight's over. You're not just going to back off. Bedboom will cut their losses, which are quite significant. That was a 5k swing, 2 heroes dead, one of them being a core. You lose the Tormentor and the Boomerang now in Mira's arsenal.
Yeah, that's a good one. They got the good 50-50. Kaori would have been real sad if he got that shard.
I think Kaori would be happy with anything.
I guess. He'd be sad for his team because he would know it'd be a waste.
I think he just loved that they came to deward his ward. He was like, finally, interaction with other human beings. Been living like a hermit out here.
WS also has his shard, by the way, so I guess for now it's
just Croak.
It's just Croak of Genius, but I mean, is this a good Lincoln's or Lotus game or anything like that? Glimmer, anything?
Not like particularly great, honestly. Lincoln's, I guess, is okay against Windranger. So I'm assuming you want to buy it regardless in a 6-slot build, right? It's just too good value to have it twice, but you can see it's not in his quick buy.
Well, my question is,
do you think the
Croak of Genius shard is good enough to buy?
Oh, if
it's only for that.
Yeah, I think so.
Is it?
With Quap, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You're both using it so incredibly effectively that I think it's worth it. If you were a support Largo and you were only using it on Quap and nothing else, then maybe it's
okay.
Kind of whatever. Because you would be using it on her anyway, and the effect on yourself isn't that important when you're a support. But then you'd be a support Largo, and that's a weird hypothetical regardless, because nobody plays that. So,
real shame.
I'm sure Valve will do something to make this guy support.
With the smoke. Mira's gonna sit in the tree line to try to be the first line of defense. WS now trades places though. Singing his song in the trees.
Dum dum da 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 dum dum.
Roche is up, so next pickoff could just potentially give Roche to either team.
It's a game of patience, okay? Who have better patience will win the fight.
Including the viewers.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the viewers agree. we can tell you guys' mindset is indeed patience. We will bear with you for now.
If I was a player and I knew that what I was saying was going to go out on stream, I'd give a shout out to Twitch chat. I'd say Keck W, lol, lol, something like that.
Wow, those were the emotes you knew. You had to say lol twice because you ran out.
That's actually genuinely true. Genuinely true.
You are such a boomer.
How does that make me a boomer?
Keck W, lol, lol.
Keck W is new age-ish. That's the best one,
It's
though.
like 10 years old.
It's the best one, though.
You should know the king of emotes, Shannon.
The king
You're
of
old
emotes?
school. The original
What,
king
Kappa?
of emotes. Forehead.
Oh, forehead.
Always the best.
No.
It was. I miss the days of forehead Ella Giggle, but they got replaced.
All right, well,
W took over.
Roche.
Roche is dying, by the way, to a song.
Stop talking about chat as Kataomi gets the punch up. There's the Gale Force. Roche really low. They get the shackles, not going to fully latch. So Makoto gets the BKB. Jumps in to take the Aegis. Kills off Roche as well with the Sonic Wave. Nicely done for Aurora. See if they continue to want to fight here. WS going to be the recipient of a snowball. Pops the BKB, though, is GPK. The black hole onto absolutely... Nope, he gets the Aegis. Okay,
has
that
refresher.
was not nothing. Makoto already at half HP, despite just respawning. Nightfall gets the Chronosphere, but he cannot hit the Muerta. In the BKB, has the damage rune as well, it seems. And that's a double buyback for BetBoom now. GPK trying to find a connection. Mira, not the first priority, but it's the only hero nearby. Swashbuckle missing, and Aurora's going to get with most of this. So they use the Aegis to get the one kill onto the Quap as well, and that's it.
Yeah, that could have definitely gone better for BetBoom. I think Miero misplayed that fight a bit, to be honest. They had Quap blinked in aggressively and Kiritich like 3-shot her, but they used a black hole for it. He refreshes for the second black hole and then ultimately doesn't get the connection. But also, nice play from Nightfall to recognize that he just has to get the hell out of there after chronoing the second time. If he sticks around, he's going to get black holed, and that turns really bad really quickly.
Yep, Rolling Thunder again from GPK. Not able to find anyone outright. Seeing the roll up as well as Mira getting some hate, but he's going to survive. Just creates a little bit of space, but the fortification really protected them. The Eidolons clean up very easily. They have a lot to deal with this zoo that is Enigma.
Yeah, looks like that's going to be the end of that. For now, anyway. Miero almost has Ags as well. This Enigma is so unbelievably fun.
Yeah, I cannot believe, like, I feel like he just finished his Octarine and then he has a refresher for that last fight. Like, how?
Yeah, and he almost has Ags. Now too. He's 8-1-7 with 365 CS.
What a beast.
Yeah, there's a lot of creeps on the map. Not a lot of action. Enigma, you can farm 2 places at once. So, give him the time and the
Ag's
space.
the same. It's the pulling thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the extra damage. Okay.
It's one of those
I'm
where...
surprised he's not going. I mean, maybe this is a noob thing. Like a Shiva's. I mean, you get extra AoE. Do you even need it?
It's okay. I don't think it would be terrible. This is probably just better.
Okay.
It's more impact. It's more problems created for the enemy team. Positioning wise, the black hole dealing so much damage becomes an issue in itself. He is just unbelievably rich now. He's backpacking his Dominator at 40 minutes.
Yep, Shiva's
Quite a
will be
rare
nice.
sight.
I mean, now that he has Ags, it becomes even better, I
Yes,
suppose.
now it makes more sense. I mean, it was a good suggestion to begin with. I just think this is a bit better. Octarine now on Queen of Pain as well. We did see.
Okay, Rolling Thunder. WS licks the rune. You don't get to see that all too often. Picks it up. Now the chase is on. WS not going to get hit. GPK having a hard time connecting onto people. Does not have a hard time getting stuck on the cliff, though. Has to swashbuckle away. Shield crash out of the pit now. What's it? Roche's banner just
Oh,
sitting
look at banner.
there. All right.
Nice, okay.
Very nice. Okay.
We'll grab
Freebie.
that. Cool.
So in the end, Aurora do get everything from the Roche. Keeping track for everybody. Just takes them a little time.
Yep.
What happens if you leave Aegis? It doesn't start the timer until you pick it up, right?
That's correct.
Can you have 2 Aegises? You should be able to then. I've never seen it though.
I'm trying to think if I've ever.
Like if Roche spawns, does that take your Aegis away randomly? You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's inside him now. They can't exist at the same time.
I've never seen it, so I don't know the answers to that question. I don't play games where that's a possibility, Shannon.
Somebody figure that out for us,
You know,
please?
these pros, they always pick up Aegis instantly, except when they don't, and sometimes they forget it.
That was bad.
But
Shout out to you, Toro.
But they don't forget it that much. I think we have watched a game once, I think, where the Aegis was on the ground for like 2 or 3 minutes because the teams just forgot about it.
Yeah,
but
it could have
eventually
been a glorious moment, but somebody fucked it up and picked up the Aegis, so
that's right.
Screw that person.
Players don't like fun, Shannon.
Yeah.
That's why they're playing Warlock. Largo has picked up Aeon Disc. So that is the item against Enigma, of course. We'll see. I'm assuming the 6-slotted build of GPK in this game has a nullifier at some point.
Here's the Veil. WS already Yandex procs. Snowball on top. There's a Sonic Wave to give some distance. Shards blocking him slightly. Now the Rolling Thunder, but the BKB from WS is going to keep him safe. GPK finally gets a connection. Again, it's Mira, though. He's going to get licks, so no more Spirit Vessel for you. Now the Ghost Scepter, so GPK can't do any damage. All of that, and BetBoom get nothing.
Yeah, nicely kited out by Aurora. And BetBoom going to respect the counterplay potential now and back off. They expended quite a bit there. Pierce the Veil and Pango ult.
It is a really low cooldown.
Yeah, both spells are about to be ready again, but if fight were to continue, that could have got really bad. So they're just not going to take the risk. They don't have to. Enigma almost has a Shadow Blade. It has been 2 minutes, so of course the next item has to come out now. This one is a little bit unfair because he sold his Helm of the Dominator. So
Oh, it's not a sheep. It's sad.
he did get extra gold. Yeah, seems to be his mindset is I need to be able to get the element of surprise. It's on the way out now.
I don't even know what his 25 talents are. Let's see.
4 Malphus instances or 4 Eidolons.
Okay, so you take the instances, I assume? Unless you're in like a...
I think
You?
generally the Eidolons are better.
Really?
Yeah, because 4 Malphus instances, how often does this matter? Like, how often does that not get dispelled by something, right?
Yeah, I
game.
guess. I mean,
It's
neither
kinda
sound
rare.
that good.
The Eidolons just have the ability to like really push lanes hard and threaten barracks when you have that many of them.
Yeah.
You spawn 7 instead of 3. So,
Okay, I guess it is, yeah. And then they spawn more on top. I guess that sounds pretty good.
but generally speaking, they're not the most exciting 25s.
No.
That is very true.
I mean, what do you want to see instead? Like a collapsed black hole?
I'm trying to think of what a cool 25 would be on this hero that isn't broken. When the
Something-
hero's already so ridiculous
Something,
late game.
something galaxy related, Cinderin. It's got to be space.
Yeah. Spawn satellites.
Spawns Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, okay. I think my idea was
hello.
marginally better, even though they were both awful. Spawn Neil Armstrong, he says hello. That's the play. That's it. That's all it does.
One small step for man. You know, he fucked up that quote.
Did he?
Yeah, it's supposed to be one small step for man.
Yeah. Finish it off.
One fine. Oh, fuck.
Giant leap for mankind.
Wait,
That's correct.
How did he screw it up? No, he said, yeah, it's supposed to be for a man, but he said man, which is the same as mankind.
Right.
But he claims or claimed that he did it correctly. It was just the buffering, you know,
Yeah, it didn't
lag.
pick up. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the internet was unplugged or something. 8K lead for BetBoom.
Oh, KR, hello. Oh, got out.
Goodbye.
Places a sentry and leaves.
Yep, that's his
Refuses to
specialty.
elaborate.
We need to find out about that ward.
No.
It's really bothering me. This is going to be a long series, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's these
It
two
would have been
teams are-
longer if Falcons was in it, though, that's for sure.
These two teams are pretty. Yeah. Well, if they were playing 1v1v1, I don't know how that would work. But
True.
Could you imagine the Dota map with 3 teams?
Yes, somebody made that.
It
Well,
exists.
not the
It
current
existed in Warcraft 3, right? I think there was a version of that.
one. Somebody made a custom game.
The only thing the game is about at that point is diplomacy.
Yeah.
It's genuinely all that matters.
Who do we kill first?
Yeah.
Now we're enemies.
Yeah. BetBoom with an aggressive position once again now. And this game has in reality not really changed that much in the last 10 minutes. It's still the exact same essential things that need to happen. You need to either get a good chrono or a good black hole. You need to get counterplays. You need to play around those specific 2 abilities with everything you have. And you need to itemize to empower and mitigate those 2 spells. So you're buying disc on Largo for that reason. Wouldn't be surprised to see more discs come out on the Dire. And on the Radiant, you should be itemizing to either stun and insta-kill the Void or to be able to outlast the chrono with something like Wind Wakers, which is probably the next item for... Yeah, it's the next item for both Save and Kataomi.
What a freebie.
Oh, so quick.
Aurora weren't remotely interested. I assume they were aware, as they usually are.
Yeah.
Yeah, Refresher Shard on to Kiritich along with the Aegis, so we'll have double Pierce the Veil.
Yep.
And now that Refresher does not refresh items, it means the backpack game becomes a little bit more interesting now, I would argue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I wonder who this... It's probably better for Muerta in the Muerta versus Void matchup to change to Refresher.
Oh, 100%.
I think the second BKB is more important for Void than it is for her, because her ult inherently already pseudo works as... I mean, it doesn't do the same as BKB, but in terms of keeping you alive, it has massive impact. Void about to hit 25. Assume it's going to be the backtrack cooldown, or backtrack chance, excuse me.
Classic.
Yeah. Love to see a big fat chrono though, but I doubt it. He hasn't chosen yet. Is he weighing his options here? Is this much of a consideration? If you miss it as much... Okay, he took the big one. I was just going to say, if you miss it as much as you did on Kataomi, it doesn't matter that it's bigger.
It's more of a flub, if anything.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. I think backtrack is really good this game, shockingly. But if you fortunately block 1 or 2 Muerta shots, it can be the difference between getting off literally everything or nothing. And I don't know if this big chrono is going to change all that much for him. I guess his idea is just he's hoping to hit more heroes. Oh, never mind.
Onto Makoto with the Gale Force. He's going to pop the BKB in retreat now. Sonic Wave just on the Kataomi. Puts on the other side of the shores. Gets licked to death. Nightfall. There's Chrono #1, and that is on the Muerta. That is death #1 for her. Does Nightfall want to go in again? Doesn't look like his Miero jumps in with the BKB. Uses the black hole only onto the Frog as the Chaotic Offering comes out. Night will finish the job on the Kaori for the Muerta. Now refreshes again, so has a double pierce the veil if they want to use it. Makoto still alive somehow, blinks out, dodging the power shot as well. GPK trying to finish the jump with the swashbuckle is not quite enough. Buyback for the Largo. This is late game Dotes right here. Jump in. Kataomi all alone right now. Kirich thinking about it. Nice shackle onto the Frog. Kataomi looks to be a sacrifice.
Yeah, snowball.
He does. We'll slow things down. There's the Muerta ult again into the black hole. They destroy the Void right off the bat. Cannot get anything off as Makoto comes in for the finishing blow onto Kiritich. Meanwhile, Focus Fire not quite enough of the power shot onto WS, still staying alive on the Largo. Swashbuckle on Kaori. GPK gets another kill to his name. Now the shield crashes. Well, GPK is dominating here. Kiritich gets the double kill. As Mira able to TP out. I believe that was a buyback for the Largo, so a dieback. And no buyback for Nightfall. And all of a sudden, Betboom can potentially go high ground here.
It's so insane how fast Void dies. That was an almost instant counter golem on the black hole. He's still dead. Muerta gets to hit for a second and a half, and it's enough. That's why I would have really loved to see the backtrack talent here. Maybe that would have kept him alive in that situation. The big chrono didn't matter at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's so...
What was the reason for Pierce the Veil initiation? Sonic Wave right on top. GPK gets caught in the crossfires. Looking for Mira as he attempts to get out. Power shot, not quite enough. Does make it to the fountain, and GPK buys the refresher just to get another Rolling Thunder here, creating enough space. Makoto trying to keep them at bay, but this is going to be a tough sell. As Save can focus fire on Kiritich, doing so much damage now. That's one lane. Almost certainly going to be more here. Makoto, though, you have to respect the Shadow Strikes. His Wind Waker was killed off, by the way, on the Courier, so he has to wait quite a while for that.
Yeah. They know that Largo doesn't have buyback, but the 4v4 in the enemy base is still too tough. I
mean, I'd have to see the fight again. Why didn't he chrono again on the corpse?
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe he was worried about Enigma connecting in.
Yeah, but how? The black hole's huge.
Yeah, if you just put it on top of yourself in the middle.
I mean, maybe there's an angle. I don't know. It's tough to say.
Yeah.
But that's a double kill. Or that's 2 kills on the Muerta.
If you're mashing Pierce the Veil when you come out of Aegis, do you think you can get it off before the chrono hits?
I highly doubt it.
You know, there's some abilities where you have a frame, right?
Yeah.
I don't actually know if he even... Oh, we're going to see in the replay here, he didn't use Pierce the Veil for the first life, obviously. Otherwise, he would have lived. But yeah, there's that first chrono. And this is where you would have just liked to see the refresh chrono again. He does refresh, but jumps out.
Yeah.
With the arrow on the left.
Maybe you could be right. It might be possible to pop right, like within chrono. I don't know for sure, though. It doesn't feel like it should, but that never means anything.
Look out for the second Void kill, by the way. Like just how ridiculously fast Nightfall died, if we do get to see the whole replay here. Keep an eye on his HP.
Yeah, there's a bit of a lag time here.
Yeah, some delay.
The separation fights.
Was he getting killed by anything else than Muerta is my question here.
No, he was very healthy. Here it is. Gets silenced as well.
1, 2. Oh, it was a 1300 crit.
Yeah, not bad.
Very fast. Not even close to over yet, though. BetBoom are in an advantageous position, but not by a ridiculous amount. Buybacks are more important than barracks at this point. You still have insane late game potential. So clutch plays will matter a lot.
Yule's dodging the whole Sonic wave. Very nicely done from Save. He's not gonna get out though. There's the black hole. They baited him in with the Pierce the Veil. Makoto dead. WS with the BKB on the retreat. Basically alone at this point. Nightfall finally connects, looking for the Chrono. He gets it onto 2, trying to take out the Pango to start things out. He's not doing that much damage. Pops the refresher, can go for another one. There's the snowball, saved for the time being, but into another Chronosphere. But there's Muero with the black hole. Instantly canceled though. Now Kirit is jumping in again with the right clicks. It's not enough. Muero gets taken out by Kaori. The Bloodstone trying to keep the frog alive, but not for long. Kaori, he has a refresher for God's sake. Into the ult onto GPK as Kiritich pops the BKB, right-clicking away as well. The Void extremely low. They get the stun, they get the kill. Double kill for Kiritich. Instant buyback now for Nightfall. And that's a TP attempt for the Muerta, and Kiritich gets out just barely. So that's back-to-back Sonic Waves actually dealing 0 damage for skillful plays from BetBoom.
That was a very, very expensive fight on buybacks. You bought back Quap and Void, and you're not really getting anything out of it. There's no objective with your name on it. You're not going to be able to push any buildings. And I have to question Nightfall's re-engage there. He used both Chronos, and then he just jumped in to try to hit the Muerta, wasn't able to connect, and just killed himself and has to use buyback. That was on his own accord. But the fight, sure, it wasn't great up until that point, but you could have at least saved Void's life, which is worth more than anything right now.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
That's a double tap right there. Jesus.
Yeah, late game Muerta is ridiculous.
I mean, can she even grow from here? Not really.
Infinitely with her shard. Excuse me, not with her shard, with her innate.
Oh, well, true. I guess you can get Ag Shard, and the Eon Disc will, I assume, replace the BKB after it's used, would be my assumption. Actually, no, you would need it just to prevent Chrono, right? Like, what do you replace then? I guess you put the Eon Disc and then the BKB replaces it?
It's very dangerous to not have BKB in your active inventory, though.
Yeah.
It's tricky. But you definitely want both.
But it feels like if you're getting Eon Disc, it has to be in your inventory. Like, it can't be a backpack item, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult. I think you have a valid point that maybe it's just too hard to use correctly, so it's just better to get, you know, the other items instead. Also feels like Ags on Muerta would be really good, no?
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a good Ags.
It's insanely good.
Even on carry and late game, Deadshot 10-second cooldown, you imagine you hit some sort of good combo on that on 2 or 3 heroes, which is very likely. The Radiant lineup tends to, you know, run very... they're not clumping up per se, but they're kind of lining up between the Largo, Void, and Queen. I don't know. I think I would actually like to see that more than anything. Okay, he changed it. He's buying Ags. Nice. Okay, good choice.
Oh my god, what was the time left on the TP? Well, Kaori, very annoying. That'll feel good for GPK and save.
We're starting to reach that point, Shannon, where it's time to talk about level 30s.
Yeah.
Who has the best double talent combo? Pango's 30. GPK first to hit it, so he has the swashbuckle damage and rolling thunder cooldown.
I mean, it's Muerta.
Muerta Gunslinger. 2 Deadshot charges with Ags has to be ridiculous.
Mean, Voids is obviously very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Muerta takes the cake.
Yeah. Also, realistically,
especially if you go Ags.
Don't know if anyone else is going to get there. The distance from level 27 to 30 is very, very long.
Let's look at the timer here.
Okay. 1... 0.2.
0.2, okay.
Okay.
Could have been closer.
Yeah.
Save, noob.
Kaori was bored again, so he started split push. He's obviously doing it for a reason. It's
Yeah, he'll have ag. I mean, he has enough for ags, but wants buyback, I assume.
tier 5 neutral, Shannon.
They do exist. That is true.
You used to be so excited.
Yeah, not anymore.
Now, which ones are good? Dazun Bloodright for Enigma, I'm guessing. AoE.
This is fast.
So Dazun Bloodright's good. Harmonizer on Quap. You want one Deso, obviously. It's the best one, probably. Fallen Sky, any merit to that on something like Faceless Void? Is that... I mean, he wants the Deso, though. And then, of course, Divine Regalia. It's always a valid choice.
I feel like, this is going to sound crazy, I feel like players overrate that one.
Regalia?
Yeah. Because I think it's only good if you only have one fight in you without buyback or something. Otherwise, surely any other item's going to be better most of the time. If you die once, then you just don't have a neutral for the rest of the game. So if you have another fight in you, you're just worse now?
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds cooler than I think it actually is in terms of effectiveness.
So Aurora now are going to smoke because they have the BetBoom have are assuming that Aurora will go to try to farm tier 5s, and they are right.
Correct. Knife already used the time walk. Kaori there, though, with the Chaotic Offering. There's the Chronosphere right on the Enigma. Nightfall popping the Refresher as well, and Miero is dead. He has buyback. Chrono again, this time onto 2 heroes. One of them is saved just to support. Both effectively wasted as now Miero buys back into the game. Sonic Wave from Makoto. Kiritesh in the midst of all this pops the BKB and the Pierce the Veil. Going for Makoto, stun lock, gets off the Bloodstone and the Wind Waker. Do they have the damage to finish the job? No, he blinks in, but gets just stunned in the base by GPK. Double kill, and he is down and out. 2 minutes of no quap.
Nightfall with a 5-man Chrono, but 2 of them were teammates and 1 of them was himself. So really, not the greatest. And they still have Aegis and Cheese, and yeah,
they have 2 more black holes, by the way.
Yep.
Kataomi creating some space, GPK as well. They can just pound on these buildings. More to one of the best at just this. Can double hit buildings. That's a second lane now for BetBoom. The jump in. Another Wind Waker usage. There's the buyback onto the Warlock. WS popping the Bloodstone, trying to stay alive. There's the Pierce the Veil. Not doing too much with it as Mira gets force-staffed into death. So that's a dieback effectively for him now.
Cool play from Save. The Blink offensive force staff. Not often we see that.
Kiritech still has the Aegis for 2.5 minutes. Ult back in 30 seconds as well. They're about to go for these megas now. GPK can create so much space. WS being forced back into the fountain. And this is certainly megas for BetBoom. And do they continue to push?
They have no reason not to. They still have Aegis.
There's the Malefice into the black hole. No cancel this time. Down is Largo, buys back into the game as Nightfall being controlled on the back line. They get a lick off. There's the Miero black hole again, but it misses this time. Has done so much work this game. A small misstep for him. Small misstep for Mankind as well, Cinderin. As they're going to be able to kill off this Largo as well, and that is another dieback as Kiritech and company about to take game number 1. Last fortification for Aurora. How long on this Chronosphere? 10 seconds away, but again, feels like GPK has used this 10 times this fight. How is that even possible? They blink in, again, the control. They have the damage as well, as Nightfall will finally call GG, and game 1 to BetBoom.
You love to see all these big ults and these late game team fights. It took us a while to get there. A long, essentially, standoff for like 15-20 minutes without too much happening, and ultimately BetBoom do get the better of them.
From the last series, pro players say all the time, best thing you can do to win is to lose. So what did you learn from game 1?
Don't fuck up level 1. Team fight better.
Well, we can watch right here as the boys are fucking up level 1. Hold up.
Okay, wait. Oh, I just jinxed it.
Okay, well, no worries. Look, they almost killed...
That's okay. They like lost all their HP. They have to go home, you know. Like they have to use like 5 tangos. like 5 salves. It's okay, guys. Don't worry about it.
That's actually pretty meta. Okay, well done there. Let's ignore that absolute disaster that just happened and talk a little bit about the matchup here. Quap, hero of the tournament. You guys made sure to secure that very quickly. What is a bad game to pick Quap? When would you not first pick Quap?
You're just trying to get information out of me.
I'm not trying to get information out of you.
Spy? Like,
I'm not a spy. It's my job to talk to you, and you guys first pick Quap, so it doesn't mean anything. So what's a bad game to pick Quap in?
okay, there's like a few counters to this hero. I mean, it's no secret. Like Puck's good against it. Husker teams would pick Husker into it. Yeah. Like, I mean, you guys. I can tell you guys this. You know, like,
Fantastic. What about Doom? Doom last picked here. Obviously, another big hero of the tournament. Is there someone in particular when you see someone like a Monkey or a Tide, and you're like, yeah, Doom is the way to go?
Not really. Like, just, yeah. I'm just trying to think. Like, you can always Doom a target every game, so you can just pick this hero every game, guys. Don't worry, just pick it.
Okay, we actually got a little bit of info, so I appreciate you. My condolences here on the 4 deaths here, but we're going to let this man get into the game and get ready to chastise his team for Game 3. Let's go into Game 2 with our wonderful casters.
Wow, that was awkward.
That was amazing. It takes me back to it was Landham interview at TI, right?
Oh yeah, we were casting that one.
Oh my,
That
we
was
just
so
seem
good.
to we just attract these interviews while one team is being bodied. It's
Oh
so fun.
man, 4 for nothing, and Miera, who is so close to death, denies himself to Roche. So Aurora get nothing. They're already down 1k in the laning stage. Normally that's when you get 4 bounties on a team.
And in addition to that, one of the heroes was Silencer. He's starting the lane with 4 extra int,
Oh my god, that's right.
laning into Lion
Did
and
you
Mars.
catch who got actual first blood? I didn't catch that.
I think it was GPK. Yeah, he got the
Oh,
GPK.
man.
He got first blood just like in the previous game. He's going to be laning into Quap with an
Jeez.
inherent advantage. Yeah, it's really not a great start for Aurora, no matter how you spin it. I like that KP was trying to be positive. Yeah, I have to go back to base. Like, yeah, okay.
And they're going to get another kill on the bot lane as save. We talked about these knives being incredible now that you get the 3 charges right off the bat.
Yeah.
And he's got the unicycle ready to go, Cinder, so you can go mid lane, fuck him up there as well.
That's right. Go for a little ride. You can definitely leave Tide alone. This hero is not going to die to Warlock Doom. At least it shouldn't in the laning stage. Speaking of, Carry Doom might actually be on the receiving end
Yeah,
here.
he gets whipped, anchor smash, and dead. What a disastrous start
This
for
is
Aurora.
not how you recover from game 1, I think. Not an expert, but, you know, I don't think starting with 6
Can we
deaths in
look
2
at
minutes
the
is great.
Dota Plus percentage? I'm curious how much they care about this.
76% for Dire.
Already, wow.
I mean,
Wow.
yeah, love this talking point. We obviously believe in it fully. Changing by the second here as
ChatGPT.
So let's talk Carry Doom for a second.
Okay.
When 741 came out, Nightfall immediately played this in his very first game. When Carry Doom is good, he loves that. He ran it largely because of the 66 damage talent, which is now on level 20. That was on level 15 in 741. Doom has received multiple nerfs, and even if it's a good Carry Doom game, I'm a little bit hesitant to really get on board with it, because I think you're kind of going to be slow to build up. Your true output as a carry doesn't come until later than other carries, I would say. You're like a good anti-carry, you know? You're going to doom some guy, you're going to make his fight miserable, but are you going to be the guy who kills 3 heroes in a team fight unless you have a good start? I'm not so sure. I think this hero is kind of slow. On the other side, you have Monkey King, who is very fast and can be super active around the map. The Pango we saw in the last game from GPK. I'm kind of worried for Aurora that we're going to fall into the same game state where they lose a little bit early in the lanes, then they don't really make too many moves because Doom is going to be farming a lot and jungling a lot. And then you have these 2 big ults in Warlock and Mars that you don't want to fight but can't really. I hope for Aurora's sake that they don't fall into that same game state once more, because I think this game, I would give them worse chances, actually, later down the line.
Luckily, when you say that, it doesn't really mean anything.
That's right, then they generally win. So
That's right. Makoto getting
very
gone on a
selective
bit
memory
here.
as usual.
No,
Sense
I mean, hey, we have a podcast where you have owed me how many dinners now?
There's a difference
Not
between
bad.
predicting before tournaments and after draft.
Kaori under the tower, healing up thanks to the Shadow Word. Mio's just going to tank it up. As Save and company will be able to get another kill to their name. It's going to cost them anything. It was Nightfall doing some considerable damage. Going to get whipped, though. Miera should be able to get away now.
Save is a beast on this hero too, just to add it to, you know, the credentials we gave him last game. I think it's his first game of the tournament on Ringmaster though.
Is it?
Yeah, they haven't really been running it on him. I think Katsuomi might have played it before, but if I'm not mistaken, this was Save's very first Ringmaster game, and well, he's looking like he's played it every game. He's been in 7 kills out of 7. Just beast mode so far.
You talked about how Doom is not the traditional carry. I would say, I mean, obviously that's true, but I feel like this hero here can be your carry from the mid lane. We've seen it actually played as a position 1 a couple of times as well.
Yep.
But I think the issue I have, other than them feeding relentlessly to start this game, of course, that goes without saying, the Mars in this tournament has looked pretty bad. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know what is off about this hero right now. Obviously that Rebuke was off there for WS. And the Boundless not going to be there because of the spear.
Oh, he might still reach it. Yep.
Yeah, he's going to tick out another int going the way of Kataomi.
He was silenced too, so that was +2. It's an interesting change to that innate, where you get +1 int if they're silenced when they die. So, yeah, I'm with you though. WS is 1 and 2 on the hero this tournament.
But what do you think it is about the hero? That's because I feel like not too long ago, this was the offlane hero.
Yeah, not quite sure, to be honest. The changes, I mean, the losing facets was a big deal for this hero, I think. And I don't think he was compensated the same way as other heroes were. I think his ags, for the most part, is pretty bad. It's a way of getting back your Victory Feast facet, but it's really expensive. So I think a big part of it is just that other offlaners got hit less by the facets removals. Was he big in 741 right when the facets were removed? I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong though.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy.
It blends a bit together. There's a lot of tournaments.
Everything you say blends together as well.
Okay,
And something I have found is Mira going to get gone on, as Mira is going to miss the Impale.
Earth
Now
Spike.
the knives are going to be raining from below. Mira gets the Anchor Smash to try to mitigate some damage on the Nightfall. Looks like they will run him down eventually. Impale, Earth Spike, what's the difference? Finger of Death, Laguna Blade, what's the difference? Hex, what's the difference?
Yeah, I know you love complaining about
Kataomi
that.
again. This time he's the one being
Okay.
taken out as the Scream of Pain finds him. Makoto.
There's a couple of pretty good picks here for Aurora to stabilize the game. That was quite meaningful. And I talked some negatives about Doom. Let's talk some positives here. First of all, one of the best heroes against Tide, because he can't Kraken off Doom. It's just going to stick. You can Doom the Monkey King, so he can't heal. Also very valuable. You have a good lane matchup into Tide in theory, because you have percentage-based damage with the Infernal Blade, and Tide doesn't really play that aggressively, so that's also good. It's not that I don't get why they picked it. I think it's a good pick for the most part. It's just, I think it's significantly worse than it was in 741 in the beginning of the patch. And I'm looking to see if Nightfall can show why he rated it as an overall first pick in 741. Because this is the first time he plays it in the tournament, right? This is clearly not on his radar as a go-to.
Yeah.
I personally just like it better as an offlaner right now.
Yeah, Makoto taking some curse damage. GPK forcing him out. Is he going for the Mage Slayer again? No, he's going the Diffusal build this time. All right.
Maybe feels like the, how to say, the equation swings when you're not putting this on a Largo. The offlaner Mars doesn't care at all about it.
Doom does, though.
Yeah, it's decent to Mage Slayer the Doom, but you're kind of, I guess you're expecting him to get a relatively early BKB.
I mean, I love Diffusal, so.
Yeah, it's good.
Good to see that there's variation in these builds.
Also, there's a bit of a difference in terms of his supporting cast, right? They don't have that much lockdown between Ringmaster and Silencer, so maybe you're trying
Kataomi finds WS. He's going to take a knife to the side as well. Kiritich jumps in. Not able to get the full Jingu stacks because now unicycle away. Goodbye, Ringmaster. Arena comes out. Actually do find the connection onto the Monkey King along with the Doom, so Kiritich taken out. Early rotation from Nightfall, the changed and new and improved Nightfall, making his impact known. As they find another spear connection onto the trees, Kataomi should be fine though. GPK completely missing, but they should be able to kill off WS nonetheless.
Yeah, it's just an overplay. He's going to be disappointed in that one, WS. That was his choice. Chasing down the Silencer, not really close to the kill. Nobody was backing him up, and Kind of just ends up bleeding one out there. Okay. Kiritich gonna TP mid to try to get some farm here. Putting some pressure on him with the Quap and Lion, but they can't really commit for the kill yet. Oh, Nightfall's here too.
Oh, wow. Despite not having the Doom, if they can get back-to-back kills on this guy, Makoto, Sonic Wave onto Kiritich. Gonna get Lotus, I believe, from Save. Maybe that was the tonic, actually.
That's right, he got a little nice drink.
Lucky it wasn't a unicycle.
I think it would have lived regardless, actually.
Okay.
But very safe like this. That's a Sonic out the window. It's time spent from Doom without killing him. But quite stabilized once again. I thought this game could get out of hand very quickly for Aurora with that travesty of a start they had. But
Yeah,
this looks,
I'm impressed.
this looks pretty stable now. Pretty even. You have okay support levels. You'd like to get a 6 on line before minute 14, of course, so they're going to give him some priority in mid. Sharing it with Kaori for now, but Kaori is almost 6, so now he can start splitting off and let Mira have a little bit of solo time here. Needs to be careful not to die while having set time, though.
Yeah, it does get the Hex off. And the Impale. GPK going to continue,
getting
though.
darted.
Yeah, has another swash for the road. How
Not
come
gonna let him get
Ringmaster is
this.
not picked more often? The knives we've talked about being super strong in the laning stage.
Yeah.
And the box, like having a save is really important. Makoto. Rolling Thunder is going to hit him. Knife as well. I don't think they really have anything, though. A little ambitious.
The reason he's not being picked more is that I think there's just higher priority picks that are let through a lot in the supporting position for him to be... He's like a solid A tier, I think.
Yeah, but why would you say he's not in that next tier? What's he missing that the others have?
More reliable ult, I guess, is the biggest part.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday as well.
So something like... You're comparing this hero to picking something like, say, Phoenix or Rubik or Hoodwink. It's just, Wheel of Wonder can be very good, but a lot of the time is not very easy to use, whereas these other heroes have more
I mean, if they
flexibility.
If they just lowered the time of the roll,
Yeah.
that would probably be enough then.
It's a very easy spell to buff.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. But I do think, I kind of like that it is a difficult spell to hit. I think if this were really easy to use, it wouldn't be as impressive and as cool when it actually finds a big fight. And it's a good way of balancing the hero to not give him everything. Like you said, he has damage, wave clear, save, strong laning.
Yeah, it feels like it has a little bit of everything for sure.
So he has to have...
One thing that I would say, if Valve is listening, I know you tuned me out and Cinderin, just pretend I'm Cinderin right now, robot mode.
Yep.
If you could add something to Unicycle where if you Unicycle into an enemy hero, it does like 400 damage.
Okay.
It's hard to accomplish. All you have to do is hit them and they're off the Unicycle. That would be hype. I would go hoarse with how much I'm screaming.
What if Unicycle was his ult?
Yep, that's also a possibility.
And then Wheel of Wonder was a souvenir.
It's a super rare souvenir.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're going to get it in
Oh
the
yeah,
game.
you love that.
It's like a 5%
like,
chance?
Yeah, some like low chance to get something really cool. That reminds me of a certain, I believe, certain leader in Relic Arena.
Valve likes, loot boxes.
Yeah.
They have it in Counter-Strike and Dota now.
Now, yes.
Well,
very new.
It's a little... Let's not get into the minutia here, Cinderin.
All right.
I'm correct, though. Okay. The way that I'm thinking about it, at least.
I mean, you're not wrong in saying we have it now, but we also did have it years ago.
No comment. Let's not go down this road, Cinderin.
I don't know what road that is.
Just shut your mouth, okay?
Oh,
the Unicycle road is what we're talking about.
That's a good road. You don't want to go down that road.
Now a smoke for Aurora. Diffusal picked up for GPK.
Ults are online here. Do you want to use Finger? Probably bring Doom into this play, I think. Speaking of Doom, Nightfall went Midas, so he's going Midas into Radiance, which is the slower build that Amar was running. He was going 2 bracers into Radiance. So this is very greedy.
That is so greedy, wow.
It is very, very greedy.
I mean,
but thinks he can
Amar
get away
was
with it.
off lane, obviously.
Yeah, there's a clear difference.
But still, this is... I mean, Ken Betboom... It feels like they need to farm a bit too, though. They can't really just end this game fast.
No, this has long game writing all over it. And it seems to be the... approach that these two teams have to drafting is you want to have solid lanes, you want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You want to have a lot of support, and you want to have a lot of support. You competitive team fight, and most importantly, you want to not feel like you're on a timer. In both games, I think if you asked the teams after the draft was over, they were like, yeah, we think we can win at an hour. I would imagine they're thinking the same thing now, which I wouldn't disagree with it. I definitely think both teams can win this super late. So, gonna come down to execution, where if you want to nitpick a bit, I think that's where BetBoom won last game mostly, was I think they just had better spellcasting, and they were more clutch. So if they can beat Aurora in that aspect of the game, then with how these games so far are going, they're gonna win every game off of that then, because nobody's getting big leads in the early mid portion.
Yeah, despite BetBoom's start, dead even effectively in net worth. It is against a Doom though, Cinderin.
Doom with Midas, so it's a bit lopsided.
Yeah, a little bit.
His current impact per gold is pretty bad, right? He's top net worth, but his net worth has...
His net worth is for farming.
What is his net worth right now? He has a phase boots and a bracer, right? He has 3k gold in the bank and a Midas, so that's like 5k gold that doesn't really do anything currently, whereas Monkey King has a Mage Slayer, so it's not even close.
Yeah.
But
you said that both teams
They're
are
not
comfortable going late, but does BetBoom feel any pressure that, I mean, they see these items, they know he's going to likely go for Radiance on top of this Midas. Do they feel the need to try to shut him down a little bit? Because it feels like they're just leaving him to his own devices.
I don't know. I think their lineup's okay against Doom. It's the main hero I'm worried for is Tide in this equation. But if they do feel some pressure to stop Doom, I don't really feel like they're showing it. not seeing very much high aggressive movement. There's some pressure now on the top tower, knowing that you have Silence and Ravage in your back pocket. This is just not going to be contested. And conversely, Aurora going to drop the Chaotic Offering down bottom. And
oh, did we miss the initiation?
yeah, he is pushing. He dropped the Golem and healed it.
Damn it.
Riveting stuff here from Kaori.
Damn, that was hype. We missed it, though.
The Samurai Golem will finish the job.
I would say one of the weaker cosmetics. It's not bad, but there's so many good golems. Like the Gorilla, for example, the Genie. Like, come on. Kaori, if you're going to play 3 heroes, at least get some good cosmetics, for God's sake. Lotus now online from Makoto. That's a really early Lotus. Very early. Obviously, the Silencer is the main reason for purchasing.
This is a similar logic to why Void Spirit is a good pick against Puck. Is you're forcing the Puck in that matchup to buy a defensive item it doesn't want to buy because of your overwhelming amount of control. And in this matchup now, I think it's already a massive advantage to make Quap buy this item. No matter what slot, no matter what time you're getting it, it sucks to have to buy Lotus and Queen. And I'm not sure if this is the only way of dealing with the Silencer problem, if we could do something else with like some sort of timing build with BKB or whatever. We pop it after.
I mean, surely she has to go BKB at some point, though, either way, right?
And having both those slots just means you can't have that 6-slotted menace. So I think already, if this is what the Silencer does to Quap in this matchup, I feel like it's probably worthy of a second phase ban.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree. We'll be going for the Ags next, and I mean, considering how slow-paced this game, are you surprised he just didn't bother going for the Ags first?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like,
there hasn't been any fighting, so the Lotus is not going to get much value until that occurs.
The Mana Region's nice for farming. It's
it's a pretty expensive item for Mana Region.
For Mana Region's quite a bit, though. You can spam Scream it a lot more because of this. I mean, you also have Soul Ring, which is kind of maybe a bit overkill in that department. I'm just trying to look for like upsides to this if you're not looking to fight. What it obviously does is it's a deterrent, right? The Dire lineup is way less likely to go and try to gank you because they know you have Lotus, so you just get to farm in peace, and by extension, it's a bit of a farming item. Oh, this could be a big find here.
Yeah.
Oh, they see the tree, though.
Axe just in time, but the Rolling Thunder coming from GPK. They get the Wukongs right on top of the Mars. Can't keep him in place, though. The whip actually forces him out. They get the Lion, and eventually dropping down from above is the Monkey King to get the second kill for BetBoom.
Yeah, Aurora have no solutions to Global Silence whatsoever. Whenever a fight breaks out, they can use Rolling Thunder, Global, and then if it extends, they still have Ravage. I think team fighting for the Radiant heroes is borderline impossible without BKBs. Which again begs the question, is Quap even meant to buy Lotus then, if she still can't fight after getting, let's say, Lotus Axe? But oh,
Miero close to his Ags already. He has the consecrated wraps as well.
yeah, interesting to see him buy that. I'm actually a bit surprised.
Are you?
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to see the wraps this game.
Oh, wraps.
Yeah, considering how the game, this game and the previous game have gone so far, it seems a bit like low value. It's not like the stats are bad. It's good health. Health, magic resistance against the Radiant lineup is obviously excellent, but you could achieve something similar with a pipe, and then you have it for your whole team against Queen. Maybe pipe just sucks now. Like, the teams are just not really buying it, right? We're buying 2 Glimmers on Ringmaster and Silencer, and Tide is not buying pipe. He's going Ags BKB. Oh, it's been 20 minutes, huh?
Torment time.
Man, time sure flies when you're AFK.
Mira, careful now, young man.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Careful now. Don't go finger
He's
that.
gonna get it. These are pretty bad options. You either get it on Warlock or Lion. I think both are mid.
Is Lions any different? As we can see, BetBoom is actually going for Roche. This is going to be a trade of sorts.
You do take it away from the Dire, though, who had Spotlight or Glaives of Wisdom, which are also mid. I actually think the Torment is just not that important this game. Yeah, I would rather be BetBoom trading this for Roche, given the value of the shards.
Yep, that's fair.
Also going to kill Mira here. Nice Wheel of Wonder.
Mira, goodbye.
And here comes the bus driver.
Kiritich will get the first Aegis of the game. Has the Desolator and only a recipe away from BKB, so I assume he just farms that up before they actually fight with this Aegis. Plenty of time. Yeah, Kaori, first item is going to be, this is looking similar to a Sir Action Slacks build, minus all the small items, of course. It would be Arcane Boots, empty inventory, going for Ags.
Oh, I thought he was going to get, you know, Tranquils and Treads on the way.
Oh, right, the 5 boot strat.
Yeah, that's right.
That's only Venomancer, apparently.
Oh, okay. It's a very specific hero build item combination.
Yeah, it's really strong. I'm wondering what the win rate of that is. Just haven't bothered looking it up at any point. It's just disgust all around.
I think whatever the win rate is, the sample size is probably the issue. It's not. I would like to think there's a very small sample in that.
I don't think there is.
That would be...
BKB almost up for Nightfall. And Makoto 700 away from Ags. WS. He's almost finished with BKB, so we got triple item timings, very close for Aurora. The problem is it's going to be against the Aegis, of course.
Yeah.
Already talked about the Ags for Miero. His talents, he did go for both Gush talents so far.
Yep. It's a good way to play against Doom. You don't want to play up front in this game necessarily. Playing backline Tide can actually be very good. Just going to be spamming out Gushes. If you get an opportunity, you're going to Blink Ravage. Oh, reaction there from Nightfall will get some distance. He has BKB now.
He does. We'll have to use it. Kiritich gets hexed. We're going to go for the Doom. They put it onto the Pango, though, who can just roll away now and will TP, so the rest of the team will exit out as well.
So they force BKB and Doom. GPK did not TP to base. He TP'd to his mid-tier 1, so wants to stay out on the map. And perhaps this would be a good time to strike in some capacity for the Dire Heroes.
We haven't seen a Ravage yet. BetBoom have been ultra passive this game.
Yeah, no BKB, no Doom is really good news for Miero. And if nothing else, if you're not going to fight, you want to play the enemy side of the map. That's like the bare minimum, and that is what BetBoom are doing now. Building a house, setting up shop in the Radiant Triangle. And by extension, Aurora are aware of this, so they're just not going to go up there. They're going to go to the right-hand side. But they will be seen by a ward, and perhaps plays are available.
It's an early push on this tier 2 top.
It looks like a tower for now.
How often do we see this being the first tower taken out of the tier 2s?
Yeah, it's not that common.
Looks like they're going to get it. Wheel of Wonder actually does hit. Wukong's command coming. Are they going to go for the Ravage? No. Sonic Wave comes out from Makoto. Okay, they actually take out the Aegis. I mean, that was 100% a kill with a Ravage. And I'm not sure what we just watched. but it wasn't great for BetBoom.
In Miero's defense, he might have forgotten what his hero does because he hasn't played it yet.
Tier 2 tower will die regardless.
Okay. I mean, that was still... Given that that tower was falling regardless, I think Mikoto, excuse me, should be very happy with the exchange there. Kataomi getting hounded. Okay, what a great situation we've got unfolding here. Warlock behind enemy lines.
Yep, they get the Hex initiation onto the Silencer, forcing double TPs as GPK. And no way to stun yet. Ooh, that was close.
Let's call. Kataomi's farming. Or excuse me, Kyora's farming.
Yeah, he's going to get boundless struck and, ooh, almost denies himself.
Did these Warlock games where nothing is happening? It's so funny to just...
You know what?
We should have like a Kaori cam in the bottom right, just watching Warlock's heat map, running around the sides of the map, going toward random camps and start farming the enemies.
He does this to himself. That's his choice.
Yeah, he chose to pick it into Silencer. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm a little bit uninspired when I see this. It's just, what can you do? You're playing Warlock, your team isn't fighting. You have to do something on the map, but it's... He can't be having fun, right?
I'm not sure. Warlock players are weird. We know Slacks.
That's very true.
It takes a special type of person to play Warlock that much.
Yeah. I think a lot of players in 740 were playing it by necessity, not because they actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, Kaori is an exception, as
Yeah.
we've proven time and time again.
Now, Phoenix I can get behind, though. That is fun. I can understand. Jakira on Warlock,
You have more options on Phoenix.
Yeah.
Generally.
It's just cooler, you know?
Blink Dagger for Miero, which would indicate that some action will happen here. Still have yet to see Ravage.
The score in the game, by the way, is one of your favorite treats to eat.
What, 314?
That's pie.
Oh, right.
Mars.
Oh, the nice double boundless strike. Miero not even needing to
The
use
wheel
Ravage.
hit, too, on Quad.
Wukong's command, and they get the stun lock onto the Queen. Blinks into death. GPK with the kill.
That looked like it wouldn't have hit, actually, the wheel on Queen. She must have maybe slightly turned around. That's Doom down. Ravage.
Yes, he did Ravage.
Ravage. Love to see it.
Maybe the key was just unbound. It is possible. We've seen it before.
We've seen it before. When?
I just made that up to make everybody feel better.
Oh, this
Another
is how I
tier 2
play
tower
Ties.
bites the dust. I mean, with Refresher Shard being bugged, anything's possible, Cinder. Maybe, you know,
That's right.
there's an unbind ultimate bug right now.
Radiant's courier has been
Ags for the Pangolin. And in a similar, it feels like a similar trajectory to the last game, just that BetBoom aren't as far ahead early, but they're still getting slightly better mid-game exchanges. They're scaling, they're not massively far ahead, but they're ahead by a meaningful amount. I want to see some change from Aurora. Win or lose in this game, I think this overall playstyle so far is... I just think it's very hard to play Dota like this, in general. Being this passive.
Ooh. All right.
And it also, in my eyes, this goes against what makes Queen of Pain good. That's the other thing. You're picking her, and she gets countered by Silencer, and she can't fight. I know she's a late-game monster, but she's -1 slot because of Lotus. And she's not getting the additional gold and experience injection she tends to get in games from finding a couple of kills in the, 10 to 20 minute mark. BetBoom just aren't giving them any fights.
BetBoom now have all the tier 2s. And this is without Aegis any longer. So we saw that used. And 30 seconds away from knowing Roche's timer. Yeah, lead is growing ever so slowly, not dramatic. Much like this game.
Yeah. Well, depends. You can find drama in a lot of things. Just fabricate some if you want the game to be dramatic. Of course, you love doing that.
These players hate each other.
Just making up things about me, for example, is one of your favorites.
Cinderin hates all these players.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Every last one of them.
Yeah.
He's jealous.
Yeah, I really wish I could do nothing and
You retired too old.
retired too old.
Smoke from Aurora. They want to do something. They want to play some Dota now.
All right, this is pretty hype. Let's see if they find anything. Gonna toggle off the Radiance on Nightfall. Try to make it a little bit of a secret that they're approaching. But he has no item to get on top of the enemy team with. No Blink and no Shadow Blade. So
that's correct.
Who's gonna initiate if not the Lion? I guess Mars can just blindly blink in, but it's pretty tough.
That boom.
Smoke breaks.
MK already spotted. There's the Rolling Thunder. He's just deleted before he can do anything. They find the connection as well onto the Doom. The Ravage is there with the stun lock. Wheel of Wonder not going to hit, but it doesn't matter. They get a kill onto Nightfall. And Boom just all over them.
If there's anything Aurora can learn from this, it is stay in the jungle.
Get your fish. Get your fish, Miero. Pick it up. Delicious.
Does it still make that sound when you're playing Tide? It's like very...
There's another fish there. Hey, that's not a ward. Eat your fish! What is this shit?
It's a fish.
Your team should be pinging it out.
Yeah, very important, of course. Get that extra 2 attack range.
They all add up, Cinderin.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
This is the positive way to look at it, not your negative mindset.
Maybe Aurora's strategy is to starve Tide to death. If they're not fighting, he's not going to eat any fish.
That's true. No infinite scaling.
Maybe a bit of a mistake there to let him access the food chain.
Is the fish still there?
It doesn't expire. It's there until
I just wanted to see it again. Yeah. He probably thought this was the what the ward looked like. That's why he didn't see it.
He doesn't play the game so much, so might have been confused.
I mean,
like, oh, that's a cool ward skin. Yeah. I don't think there's any wards that jump.
There's some wards that have some weird animation.
They have like twitches, some of the eyes or whatever.
Yeah, this is more than a twitch. This is an aneurysm.
Yeah. Speaking of an aneurysm, I'm about to have one if Aurora don't get a kill soon. Oh, there we go!
Oh, the finger of death, but the box comes in. BKB from WS, they have the damage, or do they? Definitely not. Kiritich is going to turn this around onto the Queen of Pain instead. And now the BKB, not long enough. Double kill for the Silencer. 320, we're so close.
Yeah. Couple good outcomes here. 1 kill for Aurora, or 2 for Boom for the epic meme number.
Hey, the fish has been eaten, consumed by the fat, disgusting Tide Hunter.
The current kill score is also a third of 69.
Okay, good.
This is the sum of the score. Yeah,
nice.
Happy to help out. Gotta look for the special parts of this game. This, I mean, finally a move made, but global silence instantly. They lotus it off, but they don't have enough damage. So
they sure don't. It wasn't even that close either.
No.
That's not that good, guys. Oh, fuck.
True. That is true.
That was so good.
WS.
I love this feature.
Good comms. He is right. Well, that's the good news here is Aurora are aware of the situation.
It's not that good.
Yeah.
Fuck. Make sure to keep that one for the highlight reel. I think that's a really good one. Oh, this is interesting. Is he going Axe? On Kiritich. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Oh, true.
That's very cool.
What's the rationale for that? Just to be better at standing your ground when you get doomed and put in an arena or whatever? More output?
Yeah, maybe.
Huh, that is quite unusual. Don't mind it though. Always nice to see some slight deviation from the norm.
Yeah, for sure. Boom in the driver's seat.
Yeah. Where we're gonna drive to though. I think we're in the parking lot for now.
Oh, Aurora is.
Yeah.
Boom are doing laps around them in the parking lot.
I think Aurora having a nap in the diner.
There's a diner in the parking lot?
Oh, well, I was thinking of like off the highway, you know.
Okay, well, you gotta work on your analogies a bit here.
My bad. Oh,
Mira spotted, killed, whipped.
Pop him. Just one to go, Shannon.
No, he buys back. He wants to die again. Nightfall forced to BKB. So no BKB for Nightfall. And the buyback expended. Boom. So much aggression as Aurora just cannot handle it right now. Even Miera went BKB, by the way.
Yeah, if you're not going the pipe route, I think this makes a lot of sense. You're going to get doomed, you pop your BKB, you probably survive. Right? What's killing you? The Radiant lineup doesn't have any physical damage. That's part of the issue with this carry Doom, is that your physical, like truly hard-hitting component doesn't really kick in until you're level 20 and get the 66 damage for free.
Yeah.
Ideally, you have, you know, an AC as well to go with it after Silver. The pacing of this hero is just a little bit off, and this is why I didn't like the pick. It's not because Nightfall doesn't play a good Doom. It's not because his matchup into Tide isn't good. I just think the pacing is off. And I mean, especially with how Aurora's been playing so far, in a game number 3, once again, whether they win or lose this game, I just don't think this is a winning strategy in a best of 5. You need to be able to do more stuff yourself, so find a way to enable that. They're going to jump. Karatage has Aegis. They can't kill him.
Yeah, and they can't even kill him here. There's the soldiers. Maybe they got confused by that soldier. Like, wait, what? Oh, that's what Ags does? I forgot all about that.
Maybe they thought it was a ward.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, Miera was confused by it, so
yeah,
understandable. Normally we see the Shard come out at this point for the Monkey, but gonna opt for Lincolns, which GPK also went for.
Yeah.
Anything to counter the Doom.
Yeah. Pretty standard.
Now they can go high ground. I mean,
this is one of the upsides to Ags.
The soldiers are very good at this. And the spear out, but Miero gonna try to counteract this. Yandex procs onto WS. They're gonna be able to get the life number 1 onto the Monkey King. GPK. There's the Ravage. Can't find another connection on the Makoto, so he can blink out now as Kiritesh. There's the global silence. They're using it to back away, though.
Yeah.
And now a full reset from BetBoom.
Best fight of the game for Aurora, because they didn't die. Didn't kill anyone, but
one step at a time.
This time, no losses. They got an Aegis out of the hands of the Dire. And how much of the tower did they lose? 60%. Okay. I mean, for an Aegis play, that's not particularly great for BetBoom.
I mean, do you fight without Ravage?
You just control the area. Actually, you know what? This is reminding me of something. I think it was Quinn who talked about this. I've brought it up before, the simplification of how you itemize. Okay, wait, I'll explain it after. Let's see.
Yeah, God knows you're going to go on a 10-minute monologue.
It's a good monologue, though. Might learn something.
Never do. Aurora jumping in. Kaori is going to get anchored right there. Uses the Chaotic Offering as well. And actually, the Doom applied to the Tide. He's just going to walk it off now. Arena used defensively as Aurora just trying to back up.
Look at the
GPK,
score!
Yeah, 3-2-2 has made it into the stream just briefly. Very briefly, as Makoto inside of the Wukongs gets dropped to the deck. That's 3 dead for Aurora. And BetBoom, well, they win the fight without Ravage.
That's such a savage voice line that Ringmaster has. I love it. I'm afraid you're just not very good. Oh, just dropping that when they make that move and
imagine if
fail.
our TI lines got accepted with
yeah, no,
some of that heinous shit.
They're not allowed to be toxic, but the heroes, though, they can say whatever.
Only Slack's going to be toxic in voice lines.
That's a bit of a... That's fine.
Some favoritism, no big deal. It's
rules for some.
Kiritage and company are going to get a lot of buildings now. One lane is theirs, and I don't see anything stopping them from getting this second.
So here's the problem, and this is what I wanted to bring up that Quinn talks about. When you're losing, you generally want to itemize damage, and when you're winning, you generally want to itemize tankiness. Why? Because if you're behind and you can't ever kill the enemy heroes, you can never come back.
Yeah.
And if you're ahead, you want to make sure you don't die, because then you don't give the enemy team comeback gold. And guess what? On Aurora's side, you're buying items to live. Mars has Disc. The Queen of Pain has the Lotus Orb that she had to buy because of the Silencer matchup.
Yeah.
The Warlock finally now has some damage. He has Axe Refresher on Kaori.
Why do you
probably got the memo
quote Quinn, a recent quote, when we've talked about this for 15 years? You're playing to lose, or you're playing not to lose.
Right, but
it's the same thing, Cinder.
It's kind of the same thing, but I think it was just an overall nice...
Just because Quinn is more eloquent than both of us combined. Okay?
Yeah.
Not needed.
The world isn't fair, is it? Oh,
no.
He gets a shard.
He gets the good looks. He gets great English skills.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
Absolutely pristine behavior, too. He's got it all.
Yes. The most toxic person in pubs. That's a benefit, apparently.
Yeah.
People love that.
He's nice in person.
Yeah, he is. WS. He's going to be found. Pops the BKB, but with the Basher on Pango. It's not an easy out.
Okay.
Oh, it's going to die to... Oh, GPK gets it in the end. Really greedy. 25-3, a shellacking here in game number 2. Aurora, I mean, they 2-0'd Falcons in relatively easy fashion, I would say.
Okay, so let's look ahead a little bit, as this is an overwhelmingly unlikely comeback. Let's talk about what Aurora should do for next game. First of all, mentality. How are you going to handle the way these games went? It feels like in both games they were a little bit checkmated. Their moves weren't connecting. They were getting outplayed in fights. I don't think they've been ahead yet, really, in this series at any point in these 2 games. Clearly not this one.
I mean, that first minute was pretty bad.
The pre-rune fight is very bad in both games. GPK has first blood 2 games in a row on Pango. That's already a problem because Mikoto doesn't get to potentially win the lane, so that's bad. Once again, I really think they should be drafting in a way that allows them to show more promise, and I think Silencer just completely puts a stop to that when you're drafting in this fashion. When you open with Quap Line and you get Silencered, it's just... the brakes have been pulled before the game even begins. And I don't think Aurora is going to win this series by playing slow. They've tried it twice now, it didn't work. So those are the adjustments I would like to see. And just also for morale's sake, you know, just get some plays going so you feel like it isn't just despair, right? You're trying to think of this from the human aspect of being a player in a game like this.
Yeah.
You're just walking around like,
I mean,
Kaori must be having the most boring time ever.
He's having the time of his life. He gets to pick his one hero, he's good to go.
Mira's playing Lion, he's 1-7-0. He has 1 finger stack in 41 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. It's hard not to feel hopeless, and you just don't want to see them get in that position in game 3. Really, really important.
I mean, the aggression they showed in game 2 against, or was it game 1 against Falcons? Game 1 was the one they had Lone Druid, right? Where they just ran them over at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like that's what we want to see out of Aurora. Keep in mind, these 2 teams know each other better than anyone, probably.
Yes.
So there's a lot of like hidden metas within all of these picks.
For
so
sure.
It's really hard to actually truly analyze it.
This play has to work. It's going to be tough to get into them, though. If Tide breaks it, he can just BKB and live.
Oh, Kataomi, he's spotted. He has double global, by the way. See if he can get one off here. There's the Ravage to give him some space as Kataomi does fall first. So no global this time, but already 2 supports dead for Aurora as Nightfall on the cover of darkness, but not for long. He gets Rolling Thundered, bashed up, and killed off. Triple kill for the Monkey King. Wheel of Wonder just in celebration mode for BetBoom as GG is eventually called now. And a complete, utter domination for BetBoom.
Right now, one of these teams is just better than the other. The plays are one thing. The first blood fights, I would love to see.
Sunsfan and Cinderin.
Welcome to game number 3, BetBoom. Can they get the sweep? They looked unstoppable in that game number 2. Game 1 was a long and hard-fought one that BetBoom ended up topping Aurora out on. Of course, both these teams super familiar with each other. Sunsfan here with Cinderin. How are you doing?
Yes.
No, that how are you doing does not get preceded by yes.
Does this time.
Okay.
You take what you can get.
Thank you.
So will Aurora, and what they will get this time is not First Blooded by GPK Pango, because even if they get First Blooded, he's not playing Pango.
Technically true, yeah.
And looks like this time Aurora will maybe just get off to an even, fair fight in the mid lane. And I think for me, that's one of the things to watch here. I like some of the adjustments Aurora made. I'm going to be focusing mainly on them since they are clearly at this point the underdog that needs to make some adjustments, whereas BetBoom kind of had the upper hand in both games. This time, I think Aurora's lineup has more promise. I think Nightfall will be more active on Tiny than he was on Doom and Faceless Void. I think the Ember Spirit of Mikoto, this is his best hero together with Puck. He's going to be playing one and against the other. Should be very familiar and not have a default deficit when the game begins. So let's see if he can pop off here and get Aurora on the board. And also, the Kaori is playing Warlock. All right.
Yeah, that's a good adjustment that Aurora made. Kaori Warlock 3 games in a row, I do believe. Shocking development. But maybe they talked it out, Cinder. They got Ember a little bit more active mid. Tiny can get somewhat active as well, so I don't think Warlock's going to be twiddling his thumbs as much.
Oh, and for what it's worth, I don't think Warlock was the problem in either of the previous 2 games. It's just, if you keep running it back, you need to move the other pieces around so Kaori can do something. And I think this time, if you're playing with Ember and Tiny and you're playing a higher pace, you have a global ult from Underlord to connect, you have the ability to make way more plays this time. And I think that's where it's going to need to be at for Aurora. Also need to not die, though, on Kaori.
Yep, he's taking a beating, and first
happen.
blood goes to Miero on the Largo. And speaking of the Largo, panel kind of mentioned it. There's a lot of cool dispels with his tongue, also known as Lick. All right, getting a little more detailed there. You got the Searing Chains. You have Fatal Bonds, which is a big one. Anything else catch your eye? Getting people out of Pit.
Pit of Malice, yeah, exactly. Quite good. I wonder how it works against Bushwhack. If a teammate is tied to the tree and you lick them after, I'm assuming you pull them away from the stun, right? Like if you get disconnected from the tree, I think the stuns
We
move.
saw it in game 1, I think, that it did do just that.
Yeah, so that's also quite decent. And as the panel mentioned, Croak of Genius is incredible with spellcasting mids such as Puck. There's a lot of merit to this pick. I thought maybe we were going to see something else from Yarrow in this game. Like I thought maybe they would run the Tide back because of the decent matchups here. Or maybe if they fancied it, the Enigma, but I think they just decide against that because of Tiny. Like it makes the world of difference whether your Eidolons get killed in lane or not. So the Largo makes a lot of sense.
Yep, and Tiny, very hotly contested, as we've seen so many a time. Feels like the hero very rarely just falls flat. And obviously the late game potential is insane, especially with the building damage.
I think the worst matchups we've seen for Tiny this tournament has been Kez.
I would say Necro as well.
Necro, well, yeah, but Necro then didn't win the game. But yeah, the matchup was bad. That's true. Kez just seems to have more longevity. But it was also that specific game that we cast, the Necro was playing against Doom, which is just nightmare matchup.
Yeah. Frog Stomp.
Okay, Save is just going to get cooked here, I think, by the Fatal Bonds.
Yep. That tree should finish him off. Nightfall will be happy with that. Gets licked in, though, as Kiritich dies in the bot lane. So Mira getting that kill.
This lane is really strong.
Yeah, Underlord with, I assume, 2 levels of Firestorm right now. Yep.
Yeah. The Pit of Malice plus Bushwhack is a nasty combination. Keep them in there for longer.
Though, pressuring mid. He's losing the CS battle ever so slightly. A lot of harassment going quite a ways. There's Nightfall almost falling to Miero. Save. If he gets a snipe here, he's going to try for it, and he gets it. Save. Time and time again, just showing why he is such a god-tier Windrunner player.
It's such a fun hero to watch. Being played as a
they're going to try for it again. The Blood Grenade applied to him as well as Kataomi on the bot side. Double kill for Save as WS cleans up Kataomi. So action on both sides.
Aurora almost have the same amount of kills as last game. 4 minutes in. Just 1 to go.
God. The fact that that took 40 minutes. My goodness, man.
Yeah.
Like at a certain point, it's like, all right, it's a 10-minute game. You know, you lose that bad, let the game end.
Oh, it's not how Dota works anymore. There's a lot of creeps on the map.
Yeah.
Gold to be gained.
Maybe in the next patch.
Well, they have lowered some of the gold on the map a bit.
Maybe once we get that tower leader, then things will really pick up pace.
Yeah, leader, you're ready for launch.
Oh my god.
Definitely ready for launch for sure. We haven't removed a camp yet, right? It's only been downgrades since the map got bigger. Or am I mistaken there? I think it's still the exact same amount of camps.
They've downgraded the camps. As Kiritich, oh, he's taking heavy damage. Rotation coming through. Shackle does hit, but they lose their carry as Kaori getting tag teamed. Will fall. That is not the trade you want if you're Bedboom. Kataomi
nice snowball.
He does dodge.
Very nice.
Good amount there, and will get close to his tier 1.
Dodged the Bushwhack and the Firestorm and made sure to snowball all the way to the wave. He'll get out. So 1 for 1. Still great for Aurora. They get to kill Kiritich again on the Muerta. And now they do have as many kills as last game. So 40 minutes now of silence. And they would match.
What do you say after that game 2 if you're the coach?
I think the thing that's most important for the players is to recognize a way to get into the game and not feel like you're doing nothing. So I think what I would focus on is just how do we make plays? And not be too caught up by the fact that, all right, I mean, sure, you felt terrible, you got smoked, right? But the main issue that you got smoked in my eyes was that you couldn't make plays. So I think the coach comes out, he's like, all right, guys, what we did last game doesn't work. We need to pick more kill power, more active heroes, and we're going to run at them.
Again, this would be enormous for Aurora. The double root, Kiritich inside of the calling. Going to force one TP out, so he's fine. Looking for the dead shot. Nice hit, as the snowball will connect as well. Mira looks like he's dead to rights. Kiritich just taking such heavy pressure, though. 0-2 start for him.
Yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
Very targeted here from the side of Aurora. You can see the aggression as well from Mikoto. Scouting out the enemy triangle. Can't really stick around all that long, but get some information.
I assume this is a Mage Slayer game for Mikoto.
Yeah, for sure. It's incredible. Puck, Largo, and Muerta is just a no-brainer. I guess from Muerta, the spell damage is not that significant, but the other two is... It doesn't even matter what the carry is, you're just buying it here.
And Bushwhack's not going to hit this time. Mira getting a bit of harassment. TP coming as Kataomi gets the snowball. He's going to turn this around now. That pit's lasting quite a while, though. There's a big Fatal Bonds. Kataomi's going to get some help thanks to the dead shot.
Okay, with the
Another
TP
coming.
It's too late.
Yeah, he's going to cancel.
Jinx.
I don't think we said it at the same time that time.
Close enough.
Nope. There's no such thing as close enough.
I don't know what that means as a statement.
It's just be quiet. Mira gonna be able to take off the Flame Guard with the lick, and now the coil. And that's enough damage, surely. Tries to run away, actually gets, oh my god, I cannot believe he lived.
For now.
Save.
Power
for
shot.
the power shot of his life. Boop, 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 boop. No.
Oh, he killed the range creep.
Yep, intended.
Yeah, nice escape from Mikoto. And also showcasing the power of Largo in this matchup. When you go 4 into Flame Guard, that's also a nice offensive use of the ability. We're focusing on the defensive ones. But a good thing to be able to take out of the fight.
Yeah, so the builds for the Underlords that we have been seeing have been exclusively not auras.
Yeah.
It's been... I mean, the most common one has been Atos Ags in that order. The one that we cast, was it yesterday? I'm trying to remember what they built. It was a slight variation. It's kind of like a hybrid of the two.
Do you have any reason not to buy Pipe this game?
Oh, because nobody's buying Pipe. Big power shot onto Mira. He's dead inside the shards. A big TPs as well as GPK. Doesn't have coil for another 5 seconds. Would absolutely love to use it here on Nightfall. Gonna go for the 2-man one. The snap immediately into the silence onto the Warlock. Gets brought back in as well. The snowball will finish the job as Nightfall taking heavy damage. Will be given the avalanche, and now Kataomi has been abandoned by his team. Eventual kill going the way of Aurora. But yeah, Pipe looks incredibly good here.
Yeah, okay, he's queuing it up.
Okay.
Let's go. People are playing Underlord as Underlord this one.
I was half expecting consecrated wraps.
Yeah, it's very selfish though. I just don't think it's good enough in this game. I think you want to get the Pipe. There's so much AoE magic damage. Puck, Largo, Muerta, even the Wind Ranger, you block a full power shot. It's just so many upsides. And it also shows, hopefully for us and for the game in general, in my eyes, for Aurora, that they're more eager to dictate the pace of the game a little bit. Like, they're going to get this Pipe and then look for fights, just gate in, bring this aura to the battle, and try to overwhelm the Radiant. We didn't talk about late game potential this time compared to the other two games. There's less obvious super late game carries except the Muerta and the Tiny. Puck versus Ember, I would rather have Puck late game. I think it's a late game beast, especially with Largo. So again, if this becomes a slow game, also based on the level of execution we've seen, I do favor Bet Boom down the stretch.
Yeah, we've seen GPK. I mean, I know that Mikoto's really good on Ember, but GPK's Puck also quite good.
feel like Ember's ceiling is just lower, right? Puck can like truly just hard carry the game.
Yeah.
I don't really think Ember, even when he's 6-slotted, can match. And even if he could, Largo makes it unfair. So, Croak of Genius is just mega damage amp for free. It's so crazy. It lasts 30 seconds on level 4. Croak of Genius. You're just giving a teammate like this 45% damage reverb with 0 downtime. 25-second cooldown, 30-second duration.
Yep, not bad.
Pressure on Tamira. Shackle shot. And he's dead.
He is certainly dead. They get the coil, though, on the bigger kill, potentially, from Makoto. Frog Stomp is there as well. He's slowed to a crawl, but a big sleight of fist. No, he's dead. I thought he got slide off in time. 2 dead for Aurora, though, as Bet Boom starting to up the pace, Cinderin. This is a bit scary proposition for Aurora.
The contrast between Tusk and Warlock is very clear. Kataomi is just making moves. He's part of everything. In the meantime, Warlock is kind of babysitting the Tiny and getting his 6, and now finally can't wait to see Kaori drop the rock.
Yeah, where's that tier 1 tower? That thing is gonna have a heart attack when it sees that golem.
That's right.
The samurai will come for him. The fact that we know their cosmetics ahead of time just shows how often they play the hero.
Yeah.
Usually a bad sign. I mean, it's a support, so it's not like this is a core hero that's being picked every single time. Surely, and we've been saying it for a long time, it keeps working for them, generally. Like, they're getting to the finals, they've won a tournament. Like, but is there a way, and is it even worth countering a hero that, a player that plays 3 heroes, basically? Oh, another coil.
Oh, he better not die again here.
He's going to pop the Fairy Fire ahead of time. The snowball is going to hit, and another death for Makoto. 2 deaths in a minute span. Kiritich, they need this. They absolutely need this. He gets to pierce the veil off, though, inside the pit. They will clean him up with the sharpshooter.
Okay.
So they get something out of it, and it's the carry. Miero getting tossed around like a rag doll, but he's a frog, so he will almost certainly survive. Avalanche. Yeah, Nightfall's out of juice now. There's the samurai.
Here it goes. And there goes the tower. So, oh, no.
Oh, the shackle onto 2. Where's the follow-up, though? Miero gets off the lick, and that's the death of WS.
All right, I was a bit early to conclude that was a tower takedown. It did not look like Bet Boom wanted to fight, and then all of a sudden they show up out of nowhere. That clearly caught Aurora by equally much surprise as me. Which is concerning because I can see the whole map and they can't, but you know.
No, Mira. Nothing to snowball to, but it's not enough damage with the sharpshooter. Katomi will have to walk that off.
I feel like we've seen a disproportionately low amount of Tusk this tournament compared to how good the hero is.
I think we see enough of the hero in general.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a hero I necessarily get sick of.
It's not like I miss it, but I'm just
common.
surprised that it hasn't seen as much play. Like, Kataomi's first game on it was last game, or 2 games ago, excuse me. Hadn't played it until then.
How much do players care about the shard being changed? It's a worse version of Drinking Buddies, but you lose the farming potential of the shards.
But the fact that you have Drinking Buddies and Tag Team in the same hero.
PK coming in from the north, another attempt onto Makoto. They're going to be able to take off the Flame Guard. Makoto is fine, though, as the Avatos comes out onto GPK, and he goes down to Nightfall. Big, big kill for Aurora. They were ready for this one.
Yeah, finally some counterplay. They're ready and they have the damage, and the Puck matchup gets exposed a bit here into Tiny. That is...
Uh-oh. Gets off the sleight of fist this time, though. Into the Remnants, gets licked out. Power shot again finishes the job. Makoto just getting hounded, but a nice bushwhack onto 2, into the Pit of Malice. Aurora coming back in numbers. Miero healing up, has the move speed. Tree is going to slow him down a bit, but now he is back up with GPK.
Uh-oh.
Who gets avalanched into a lick, so he's okay.
That lick was actually important. Oh, never mind, he had toss and cooldown. That's the thing about carry Tiny. The 4th point in toss, you get it pretty late. Mid Tiny would have had toss ready there, but the cooldown scales down quite significantly. -3 seconds per level.
So 3 deaths for Makoto, 1 for Puck on GPK. But top net worth right now is Nightfall. Not too far behind is Kiritich though.
Yeah. It's pretty stable. I mean, similarly to the past 2 games, Aurora are not really getting an advantage. They're not getting ahead. But the difference between this and the last game is that I just think there's more potential. And also this time they have damage. The Tiny is offering some serious burst in sharp contrast to Doom.
All right, would you compare the Muerta versus Tiny matchup to kind of be like the Void versus Muerta?
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad comparison necessarily. It's like both heroes insane burst and one completely owns the other depending on who gets the jump. Obviously Tiny can't do anything to Muerta when she ults, really, as a carry. You can stun her, but
that's something.
She has ridiculous single target damage and, of course, courtesy of changing it into magic damage with Pierce the Veil, is really strong against Tiny's armor. Tiny obviously gets a ton of armor from Grow.
Spirit Vessel purchased by Save now.
Yep.
And bottom lane, GPK with that Witchblade hounding Mira a bit, not able to kill him though. Close to the Blink Dagger. As WS did finish the pipe, by the way.
Kataomi has a dagger. He's been doing really well for himself on Tusk this game, 5, 3, and 4. Opens up some new play possibilities. And begs the question if this is a game where you want to go Axe on Tusk. If you're having this good of a game with Puck, it's an insane combo.
Yeah, that's true. The Frog is stuck in mid-air. Glitch alert. They get the kill. What was that?
I don't know what happened.
The punch into the air, though. They're going to try to get some sort of a trade. It's going to be on WS. Pops the pipe, but to no avail. So offlaner for offlaner.
It's good for Aurora, though. They get the mid tower.
It was a toss into Bushwhack, was it?
Oh, yeah, of course. That must have been it. There's some weird interactions with pull mechanics and toss.
The Z access?
Yeah, it doesn't really know.
Let's see.
So there.
Yeah.
I knew where it was, though.
Kaori's like, I don't know what's happening. I will use ult. It's Kataomi finding Nightfall, trying to go through the gate. He's going to get shackled. GPK makes his way over as well. The Fiend's Gate is there to try to provide some cover for Nightfall. He gets licked and killed, though. Save is going to be the trade. Double kill for Makoto, so he gets the 2 supports, but again, at the cost of Nightfall. Not what you want to see if you're Aurora.
No, that's good enough for BetBoom. But again, nice to see Aurora punch back. This is what we've been missing, especially in game 2, is the ability to do this. Now, GPK, this is a very easy kill, you would think, unless he misses.
Witchblade will get the kill.
Почему всегда я?
Wait, is he finishing Parasma already?
Looks like it.
Wow. That's not normal, right?
It happens occasionally.
This early?
Yeah, if the game is good enough for it and you don't have to get a pit stop in between. We have seen this be somewhat popular. I kind of like it this game. I don't really know what defensive item you would buy in this slot right now for the game. I think what you want to do is you want to go a lot of damage and then you want to buy Eon Disc because Tiny is not going to get a nullifier, and even if you have BKB, you can still get one-shot comboed out of a Silver Edge. So it's probably just best to maximize your output so you can play from ahead, and then when you do need to cover your bases if you are ahead, that's when you can buy the defensive item like we talked about last game. So I like it a lot. I think this is great. I wouldn't even mind seeing him go Octarine next, honestly. I think there's some merit to that. And then thinking about the disc, Kataomi will be killed off here by the Tiny.
Uh-oh, he's 400 away from your dreaded items.
Oh no, it's Harpoon, Shannon.
He's going to be using it on trees, and Cinderin's going to mauled. Just wait for it, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be elated, though. I love it. That sounded sarcastic, but I do love it.
It's like when I've noticed when you say to Slacks when you're like, you're a good friend, you also say it in a way that sounds like there's no chance you mean this. And then you're like, no, I really mean it. But the way you say, no, I really mean it also sounds sarcastic.
Senator, you're a really, really great friend.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Just really good.
Yeah. Now say it right after it, say, no, I really mean it.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, okay.
I'm really serious. Kaori will get the shard. That is not the 50-50 they were looking for.
No, would have rather had a little bit of a boomerang, but
I mean, this
the
is
bet boomerang.
Something to be said for a hero that you pick so consistently has such a dog shit shard that you're getting from the Tormentor.
I mean, maybe we're underrating it slightly.
I don't care.
I'm not saying this is why they pick Warlock.
I don't care for underrated. It's fun to shit on something.
Yeah, that's right.
As long as it's not people themselves. Like the shard, who's going to get upset
Glad
about
to get that specified. That you're not into that. That's good.
No. That's not.
In case there was any doubt for the viewers out there, that was not what he meant. Just clarifying.
You're talking about literally?
Nothing wrong with, I mean, that's what you said.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No worries. It's just the finals.
There's the harpoon. Rejoice, everybody. The trees shall fall. Punch into the air. The squirrel is dead. But the
Here
Fiend's
comes
Gate.
Nightfall, though.
Nightfall gets off the avalanche. Can't they get the stun lock? Nope. Phase shift. Yeah, blink up. No, he gets rooted. Tossed up. He's in a lot of trouble. He does. It was still up.
Great
and the coil now onto the 2. He's still really low as Makoto trying to burn him up with the remnants and the flame guard. But the damage coming out from Save and Company is just too much. Nightfall about to drop as well. A double kill for Kiritich, and GPK survives.
GPK God. What a sick escape. That was super, super nicely played. With
Did you watch him specifically? Because I had to take my eyes off.
Yeah, so he maxed out the...
Oh, wait. Makoto. Oh, the shackle hits! It just did a 360! It literally went around him. What? Okay, we need a replay of that. That looks like some bullshit. God damn. That thing had magnets on it.
Yeah, unless the projectile hits you during Sleight of Fist, it's going to keep following you.
It just looks so funny.
Yeah. Oh, they almost get a team wipe here. GPK finding Kaori, who has the Glimmer Cape, so he'll get out. Yeah, it was just a lot of really good details here from BetBoom. They're showing that they're up 2-0 for a reason. So keep an eye on GPK's puck here. I'm assuming he will go off the camera, as you did go and see the rest of the fight, but he's basically... They isolate him here. He then gets off the orb. He has no other cooldowns. That's the only play he has. He gets down here. Now he's going to get slight chained. Phase into narrowly getting the blink against the Flame Guard. Oh, he's off to the right now, and then he's orbing, curving it down toward the south of the map. You can see on the minimap bottom right. Yeah. He's getting out.
Yeah.
So Aurora got nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh man, that face, that player camera on Makoto looked like pure despair.
Look at this. That looks so wrong, man. Nightfall not happy.
Yeah,
on the verge of being swept, down 7K now.
Yeah. I
mean, coming into this, two teams that, like we've talked about, they're super familiar with each other. They went, I believe, 2-1, right, in the upper bracket finals. I thought this was minimum 4 games. And possibly 5. I thought 5 was the most likely, but it could just be a 3-0, which would be crazy.
BetBoom are on another level today so far. Just exceptional play. And yeah, I think this might just be somewhat accurate for the game. Largo puck later. Nasty. You also have Largo with Muerta if you want. That's also good. And Aurora... That lineup would love to fight in this part of the game. This is when you want to try to use this Silver Edge or Shadow Blade plus Harpoon timing on Tiny to make moves, but you're being countered at every turn.
It's okay, you can use it on trees now, though.
Yeah, that's good. Wait, GPK bought a Vitality Booster, but he's not going to finish the item yet? No, so he's just going to buy a Vitality Booster into Shard. Huh. I'm assuming it's the disc. Yeah, I thought he was going to... Well, it can still, you know, there's options.
Heart?
No.
I'd love to see
He's probably not going Heart.
Hey, if he goes Heart, he's not really getting bursted by Tiny Synderen.
That's right. He could also just buy Octarine, though.
No. Come on now.
I hope it's Octarine and not disc. I think it's too early. And yeah, it looks to be the case. He's buying the Soul Booster.
Sad. We're so close to glory.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not my idea of greatness.
Smoke from BetBoom. Haven't really talked about Kiritich too much, similar to game 1.
Yeah.
But eventually he hits a critical mass and then they just can't ignore him as Mira might be the one to tank the gank here.
Ooh, Arcane Rune on Puck too. They're gonna go Roche.
Okay.
And they'll get it. Tag team, focus fire, and Muerta. Those numbers over Roche's head.
Yeah.
Non-stop purple numbers just keep going up.
Poor thing.
And that will be a second life for Kiritich.
What's the lore of Roche? I don't remember.
I only know the lore of the name.
They're going to get a punch up onto Mira. GPK, another kill to his name. 5, 1, and 7 for the Puck. Has the Parasma.
My only fun fact about the Roche lore is that his name is named after Ginsu's favorite bowling ball.
I think we've had this discussion before. Do you know what it means in Farsi?
It means light.
Bright.
Bright.
Close. That's very good, though. Very good.
Yeah. I think it might also mean something similar in Indian, if I'm not mistaken.
Not sure. You can chat GPT at any time you like, Cinder. Yeah, go ahead and alt-tab. I see you alt-tabbing over there.
Roshan meaning.
Go.
Bright, light, shining, or illuminated. Commonly used as a unisex given name in Iran, India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. There you go. I'm just going to immediately blindly trust Google's suggestion there.
Yeah, Gemini is not the same as ChatGPT,
No.
Cinder, and just make sure you know that.
Yeah.
ChatGPT,
Take it with a grain of salt, guys, but it's probably pretty close to accurate.
ChatGPT has a good personality. We're good friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's because you keep telling it you love it every time you tell it.
No, they tell me they love me.
Oh.
That's the difference.
Yeah, that's really
Nobody
great.
compliments me, so I got to get it somewhere.
Maybe it's a two-way street where if you say nice things to people, they say them back. Have you ever considered that?
Jenkins is very abusive to his ChatGPT, just throwing it out there.
Yeah, do you think it compliments him? No, it apologizes to him.
That's right. He's like a dictator.
Yeah. Can't say dictator without dick.
That's true. 3 minutes on Kiritich's
Oh, look,
Aegis.
Kaori. Kaori split pushing again. Here we go.
Is he going to...
He cut the wave.
Oh, I thought he was going to use his golem on the tower, but there is no tower there. Maybe he forgot.
Hiding in a corner.
Halfway to his Ags,
He's going to start taking damage from the guitar.
Sharp. Yeah, that's the death of Mira. GPK on a streak. And so is Kaori. 3 games in a row on Warlock. That's a streak.
From ChatGPT to ChatDPK.
What the hell? There's the
He
Eon disc.
bought the disc,
wait.
huh?
Yeah,
Oh, so he changed
mine
back.
again.
Okay, well, they are ahead by a good amount. I still think the Octarine would have worked just fine, but this is very safe. Now, he's definitely not going to get burst and killed by Tiny and or Ember.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So all the tier 2s still up, but not for long. This mid lane is certainly going the way of Bet Boom. Fortification popped. Kiritich has such ridiculous range.
And a great bugged out animation to go with it right now. Just
oh yeah, you're
pushing
right.
the tower with a hangover.
Yeah, that's nice.
You okay, buddy? I don't feel so good. Maybe he doesn't like shooting. It's just like a depressed ghost that is being forced to shoot against her will. Get on the lore on that, Slacks. It's probably true.
Smoke
too.
from Aurora.
This has to
Gonna
work
try
now.
To stun the Muerta.
It's into the
Out of this
Aegis.
animation, yeah, they're gonna actually do quite a bit of damage. Toss up. There's Pierce the Veil and the BKB, surprisingly used before the Aegis is expended, and now it is. That's a big potential mistake. It's inside the pit now. Kiritich completely surrounded. No way to use that ult again. Dead to right. 70 seconds on the deck. The coil expended though. They're gonna be able to kill off the Warlock. The toss up onto save, so both supports in a bit of peril here. Kataomi extremely low, gets the stun onto the Ember Spear. He's actually gonna burn down to GPK, who's now turned into carry for Bet Boom. As the Largo continuing to heal up to a high degree, finally taken out in the end, but GPK has just been left alone to do whatever he wants against Aurora, which turns into a freaking ultra kill for the Puck. You talked about this hero able to carry, unlike the Ember, and we're seeing it here firsthand.
Yeah, he didn't even take it. Oh, he backpacked his disc, I think, in the middle of the fight. Really clutch to have the presence of mind to do that here from GPK as well. Massive influx of gold for him. And you were right, that was just a complete blunder from Kiritich, and they still draw. That was an Aegis thrown away into a second life doing almost nothing. I mean, it did tank damage and buy time, so that's the upside. Whenever Puck is playing with heroes that are durable, that's part of the value, is you're just giving Puck plenty of time to get off some damage. But not really the role you want Muerta to usually play. But yeah, he is on fire. 10-1 and 7 now for the Puck. You're going to see the replay here. So this, I'm with you 100%. You should just die here instead of using your stuff. Like,
What did he toss to? I'm so confused.
yeah, I'm not sure what he tossed him on, actually. But yeah, this death is definitely not great. But Largo Puck will save the day.
Yeah, a lot of sustain. And GPK comes out on top, essentially. But yeah, you're right. I think if you're Aurora, you take this. You just don't have an answer to GPK anymore. It's getting very, very difficult to deal with. Of course, a lot was expended just to take out the Aegis plus Muerta again.
Yeah. He almost team wiped them. You see the hoodwink bottom left.
Yep.
Close to being a rampage.
Well, here's his rampage.
There we go.
Delayed.
Bit delayed, yeah. I don't know if that counts.
Still will go for the Octarine, and this time they will be the recipient of a free shard, which will go to either Tusk or Windrunner. And it will be the Tusk, so drinking buddies online.
Yeah. Bit tough to use this game. You're playing against these roots in Ember and Underlord, but if nothing else, you can give armor, which is always nice.
Wait, it gives armor now?
Give 7 armor. Yeah.
And it doesn't give attack damage?
No, because that's tag team. If it did both, it would be insane, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But the reason why this is so powerful is that you kind of have both now. In 740, you had to choose between, do you want damage from tag team or damage from the other one? Now you can have damage, armor, move speed, and the movement. You just have to pay for it. I thought Tusk was going to be first phase picked when 741 came out. I thought it was going to be the support. And in a lot of the games we've cast, it's looked really, really good. So maybe it's been under-prioritized a bit, but it's hard to make a case against heroes such as Phoenix and Rubik when you see the games those heroes play. I think Tusk maybe deserves to be a top 5, though.
Looking pretty good right now. And I agree. If he can eventually get that Ags that you brought up earlier, insane against the likes of Tiny, because you don't really have... You do have Harpoon, I guess, for some mobility, but...
It's just when Puck hits 25, which is almost happening already, by the way. GPK is level 24, minute 33. You get the coil pierces debuff immunity on 25, and then you kick them out of coil. Guaranteed stun. Very strong against Ember and the supports. Less so against Tiny because of statuses, but still good. He's going to find Heritage,
yes,
though.
They sure do. Chaotic Offering used as well, and that is a dead carry for BetBoom.
All right.
Lose the support on top of that, so Aurora showing some signs.
Successful connections being made here. Kaori showing up with his Ags, so 2 golems will start cutting the wave and maybe putting a bit of additional pressure and trying to corner BetBoom, perhaps, but yeah, a couple of key spells on cooldown now. Maybe this is all you're going to get, but it's nice, the kills on Kiritage. If Kiritage was having a good game, this game would almost be done now, right?
Yep.
But he's 2 and 5. They've made sure to really try to target this Muerta and limit her impact. Fortunately, though, for the Radiant side, it's debatable whether Muerta is even the carry of the lineup.
Not anymore.
Pick Largo with Puck. You have 2 carries fighting for the spotlight.
Yeah, and Miero almost has his BKB, and that means he's just untouchable in fights now during that period.
Yeah.
They have absolutely nothing to do
cannot
with
kill him during BKB. He gets so much armor from playing songs. How much does he have when he's playing? 38 with 5 Groovin stacks.
Not bad.
Level 20 talent helps with that.
For 25, do you take the right talent, I assume?
Yeah, always. I don't think I've ever seen the left one.
I mean, left one would be for support, which we don't see, right? So
Even for support, I think I'll still take the right one basically every time.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, the amplified songs is just really, really good. It's, I mean, no matter what role you play the hero in late game, he has 2 spells, right? He has Croak of Genius and his ult, and the rest is luxury, almost.
Is there any benefit for him going for, you know, Lotus, Lincoln's types? He already has the shard.
And
they have 2 roots.
Lotus is okay against the roots. Lincoln's would be It's also good against Fatal Bonds. I actually wouldn't mind it. I think Lotus would be okay. More armor. Also doesn't
Imagine,
hurt.
yeah, licking someone, lotusing a different person. Like, you're getting so much value.
Yeah. No, I could definitely see Lotus being a thing here. GPK has officially hit 25. Oh, he took the Waning Rift talent, actually. He didn't take the debuff Pierce.
Huh.
Okay. So huge radius on the silence.
Yeah, we're going to see it right there. Nightfall actually gets hit. Going to be able to pop out of the coil. Already at half HP. As Makoto went really deep. He's at half HP already. He gets punched in the air and destroyed. Yeah, that's into a Muerta who popped. Actually, she didn't even pop ult. She just decimated him without it. And the Underlord left all alone, attempting to TP. He's going to get punched, though, again. Off cooldown just in time. Double kill for Kiritich. Man, oh man.
I understand why they're just tipping GPK. Sure, he didn't kill anyone there, but he basically turned the fight into a 4v2. He just zoned 3 heroes by himself, jumped the Tiny and the other heroes in the backline. Ember went in expecting backup, but GPK was blocking off the entire path for the enemy team, so he just gets left out to dry. And
I don't think I've seen this talent taken before.
it's not that common.
It looks insane, though.
It is very strong.
That AoE is enormous.
Yeah. I like his line of thinking here of...
Look at that. That's absurd.
You're just going to blink and silence the backline and keep the supports out of play. It gives you more damage, effectively, because you're just going to hit more heroes on average. So your teamfight impact will be higher.
See, this is what I'm talking about, Cinder. GPK, like, he was such a flashy... He's less flashy now, way more consistent. The old GPK takes the other talent every single time. As Mira caught off guard, coil on top of him, gets off the sharpshooter. GPK not able to guess correctly this time.
Good juke.
But meanwhile, Kiritich with that Aegis takes out the tier 2 bot. Let's see if they prioritize to get the collection in the top lane. Nightfall has Daedalus. He's going Blink on top of Shadowblade and Harpoon.
I'm a little bit worried about their damage, which sounds weird to say when you have Tiny carry and Ember. But I actually don't know if Tiny buying Blink is going to work.
Feels like they do need it against GPK, but the problem is the Eon disc.
I just don't think your lineup solves Puck at all. I genuinely don't think at this point you can itemize against him. You should itemize against everyone else and try to kill them, and then deal with Puck last. If you try to go on Puck in the fight, you're just going to waste your time, lose all your spells, not end up killing him, and everyone else has a free fight. So, and that's tough. The Puck was first picked, and you kind of haven't countered it at all as far as I'm concerned, except with Tiny, but he's not going to be able to do it alone when Puck is this far ahead. You're just not going to kill him. Maybe the idea is with Blink that he can kind of force the disc really fast and then try to reset and go again. Yeah. It's just a kind of a catch-22. The heroes of the Radiant are just way too tanky now. The only hero you're reliably killing is Muerta out of the cores, but she has Aegis. Largo is a tough takedown.
When's the last time we've seen a more right-click-centric Ember? Like, how many years? Is that just not a thing at all that you can consider as GPK? Waning Rift silences half the team. He gets Hex, though. Bushwhack to follow. Pit of Malice as well, but the sideline save. They get a beautiful shackle onto 2, into the focus fire, into the death on Makoto. He does have the buyback. Question is, does he have to expend it? 2.5 minutes on the Aegis for Bet Boom. GPK on the cliff. What an annoying hero to deal with. They use the pit. Not to much effect, though. They get the bounce back. There's the avalanche, though, into the toss. The snowball trying to save him just inside in time. Can he blink out? He's still alive somehow, as Kiritich still has the ult with a BKB as well. We'll finally pop it. Makoto on the sideline, taking out the Tusk easily, as somehow GPK survives all of this. Save. Gets licked out of the pit. Looks like they want to reset. They've already killed off 2 supports for Aurora and forced out the buyback on Makoto. And the trade was basically just the death onto the Tusk into a buyback.
That was a good try, though. Honestly, they were very close to killing GPK. They popped the disc first, and then they got a second initiation, but the snowball saved clutch from Kataomi.
GPK, coil, they want to kill off Makoto. This will be a dieback. He's going to have to use the BKB. There's the pit from WS, though. Now the reconnection as Kiritich and company can just focus on the buildings, because GPK can take care of everything else, apparently.
I think they
Just
saw
forcing them
Nightfall
back.
farming top on the Tiny, so they're like, okay, I mean, they're just giving this up, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And they'd be right.
That's one lane for BetBoom. A minute on Aegis.
GBK just TPing out in front of their faces even. Didn't even orb out of the base. Just
That's
TP'd
confidence.
straight away.
There's a damage rune there too. Oh boy. If they see this,
Oh.
I mean, do you give it to Muerto or you give it to GPK?
I would put it on a puck.
But Karatich is running for it.
Does he have a bottle anymore? No bottle?
Very slow with the no
Oh,
longer.
he does. He left the bottle on the ground. I see. So
Wait,
they are
he does
letting
have boots.
They're letting Karatich have it. Okay. I don't think there was a bad target for that. Could even give it to Largo. Honestly. He's also doing a lot of damage. But obviously better targets than others. Now Muerta might use it to think about a second set here. 30 seconds on Aegis though. Got to be a little bit careful with the timing of this if you're BetBoom.
He already pops it. Aegis about to be expended. They get the
Oh,
shackle on the
WS.
sidelines. WS all alone. And that's an easy kill for BetBoom. 80 seconds without Underlord. Aegis about to go bye-bye, but I don't think they're going to stop here. They're going to try to force a buyback that does not exist. He's 70 gold away. He's so close. They can just get a bounty rune.
Yeah, there's none to claim though.
Karatich can now focus on the buildings. This is going to be a second lane at least. They're still a tier 2 top though. Makoto just pushing out the bot lane. Yeah, they just have to give it up. They'll fight over the final barracks eventually. And if you're BetBoom, you probably just wait for the next Aegis anyway. You reset here. Buyback now online for WS, but obviously far too late.
Backs against the wall for Aurora.
Yeah,
This
BetBoom.
feels like a last chance type of situation. If you lose the next fight, it's over. And I'm trying to wrap my head around strategically how their lineup even initiates a fight. That's the biggest problem here. Sometimes when you're far behind, you can have an idea that's going to work. And sometimes that's obvious, sometimes it's hard to find. I'm really struggling to see the way this lineup initiates that is going to lead to a victory in a team fight. Damn it if you go on puck, damn it if you don't. I guess the best option is to blast Karatich and then play it from there. If you can do that, that'd be a start. See you later, Cat. Okay, Ori was trying to do a little bit of shenanigans here. He's actually close to his refresher now.
Okay.
Get another Tormentor takedown. BetBoom just adding up the
Only one
advantages.
shard left. And
That's a
now-
Spectral Slug. We'll see if he even uses this ability. Nobody ever buys this. So it's a knockback on an enemy that turns them ethereal.
It's like the old Ags, but a worse version, I guess.
Yeah, kinda. It doesn't stun them and pull out their soul, whatever the old one did. That's genuinely probably the most confusing spell of all time in Dota. I feel like nobody fully understood how it worked, and then they removed it.
Thank God for that. I hated talking about it. No idea.
Severs the soul. Oh, BKB forced from Mikoto casually here by GPK. So that's another disadvantage now for Aurora.
They can just fuck up, guys. It's okay. They still like to try. That's our only chance.
Yep, good words.
True.
Well said. Keep trying. This is good timing for BetBoom. They're going to be able to get this tier 2, and then Roche potentially could spawn.
It is the right attitude, by the way, there from Mira. We have to try, and if we fuck up, it is what it is. If we don't try, we're going to lose by default.
Yeah.
This is the mindset you need to have when you're far behind. Is you have to try, and if it fails, whatever, because there's no good other option available. So I wonder what was said before this. Like, what is he talking about that they could fuck up or should try, right? Like maybe they're like, oh wow, the idea we have is so hard. And they're like, yeah, we can't do that. And Mira's like, it doesn't matter if we can't do it. We have to try. Just kind of funny when you think back on some of the most ridiculous comebacks in Dota history. It's always off something that, in theory, should be impossible, right? That's why it's so surprising that comebacks happen. But you have to go for the crazy play, especially because sometimes the enemy team is never gonna ever imagine you would do it.
Right.
They're like, there's no way in hell they try this. Of course they know they can't do it. And then guess what? Because you don't think they will. Maybe it's going to work. But, well, I think this is where you should have stood your ground, if I'm honest. I think giving this one away is Now...
You have 1 foot out the door here.
Yeah, now you need to really nail it. Aegis, Cheese, Refresher.
Peori, it's all on you, buddy.
Yep, push that wave.
All right, that's enough for Refresher.
Yep. Okay, let's theorize here. What's the best way? Before this Aegis, I would say blast all in Muerta and play the fight after that. That is not going to work anymore realistically with the Aegis.
Unless he pops ult.
You can't go on Puck
on low
first.
HP.
True. Can't go on Puck first. Too difficult to kill. Largo has 4.5k health and 40 armor. Probably too difficult to kill. The supports...
You're running out of things for them to go on, Cinderin.
Yeah. It's very telling, isn't it? I don't think the supports are going to offer themselves up. If you can jump and kill save, I think that's a great start, but he's probably just going to play very defensively. He has Dagger, Lotus, and Shards, so he can just play 1500 range behind his teammates, keep good formation.
They need to go to the corner of the map and activate the bug that
they need to
regrows their barracks.
They need to smoke around and jump the supports. I don't see
Okay, that's
any
also another option.
That is the
I
only
prefer
one.
mine personally, but...
Yeah, well, if the other thing is possible, I think that's better. I don't think it's in the game, though.
We don't know that for sure. You can't prove it.
No, that's right. This is how religions are started, Shannon. We start believing in the worm.
Have faith!
Start believing in the worm that respawns the barracks. It was always here. In our moment of need, it will come.
There's the Roche banner.
Makoto.
They get the coil. Makoto sniped from the other side. Not enough for the kill quite yet. Gets off the sleight of fist. The sharpshooter's not going to do too much here as Kiritich focusing on buildings again. Puts down the calling. Fortification, likely the last of the game from Aurora. They're tier 3 about to fall. There's the sleight of fist. And the initiation potentially. No, Makoto goes back out. That Waning Rift is doing so much work. There's the Pierce available into the Hex. So they're not able to do anything to this Muerta as the building's about to fall. Somebody just needs to right-click that tower at any point. Even the creeps will do. They finally get it. Now just the barracks away from mega creeps.
So that's 1 Golem for 1 Pierce the Veil. One of these cooldowns is not like the other, though.
True, but one has Refresher, Cinderin.
Yep. The other one almost has it ready again and has a Refresher in the backpack.
Oh, okay.
So
a Roche banner. They're just aggroing the creeps. The Golem has died. WS already half HP. We'll have to pop the BKB. Largo very, very tanky. They actually find the connection onto Kiritich, but he's healing up a huge amount of heal as WS tries to run away. Another Golem comes out, but they die instantly to Kiritich's right click, and GPK creating so much space on the backline with the coil. Nightfall on the backline trying to kill a support. He can't even do that. He has to Nightfall back to base. That is not a good sign. There's the Hex, though, onto GPK, but the building's falling. This is going to be mega creeps now for Bedboom. Mira on the run. GPK cannot be stopped at all. And there's the Pierce the Veil to bring Nightfall to his knees as GGs are called. And Bedboom are your champions. My goodness, what a display.